ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardroom Games. So do follow them, and yeah, see you in the tournament, and I will be casting too.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I want my
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardrum Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
Guys, it's a tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
Of the Instagram bio of Wardrum Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
My dear doomed king, the time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening and welcome to the North East Underdog Tournament, also known as NERD. It is the Round-1 Day-3 happening right now, a clash between states because the teams that will be playing against each other are none other than Zohan versus Team Royal Manipur right now. It is a knockout stage, which means the teams have only one chance to prove themselves as to why they are the top dogs of the country. On to the casters decks. This is your caster, Zero, and alongside with me, it is none other than Debbie. So Debbie, are you excited today?
Oh, I'm very excited because, it's kind of a showdown of which state is better in this game, in this video game in MLBB here. So it's going to be an epic showdown. So we have to see what these teams are going to be bringing out onto the table because the draft is going to be here. And Johan onto the blue side, they have the first pick. And ban coming up on Johan's side, it's the Hayabusa because I understand that their jungle does not play the Hayabusa, so they are taking it away. Meanwhile, they still have a chance for the Fanny to be banned away. But for Royal Manipur, they do not want to face this beast into that XP lane. The Lucas has to be taken away.
I agree with that Lucas and Hayabusa getting banned out. I mean, both the teams, they have one or the other hero that they are not comfortable going against or which they do not want to face out. So the main solution would be to ban the hero out. And of course, the Fanny is still open for the ban, but since Zohan, they have the first pick. They might just be planning to keep that Fanny open and maybe go for any other hero ban. But still, Phobius gets onto the ban list. So what does it mean, Debbie? Do you think they will be going for a dash hero or maybe something that Phobius counters out?
We have known that Johan can play that any hero, not the players can play out the Joy as well as the Harriet for Prime, so maybe there's a possibility that they want to make space for the Harriet to pop up. Still, they are banning away the forest, so it kind of have to be a direct answer too, but if the side of RM Royal Manipur can understand this, they can ban it away. But you know what? The Juicin is still there, right? The Juicin is still out to ban away. The Granger, also a valid choice. The Badal. There's so many choices to ban away. Because right now they are on the red side, so they do not want to have the face of healer. So that Matilda is going to be the choice of a ban, and a very understandable ban because Matilda does open up a lot of choices to a combination like Alpha. So it's gonna be a stop into that jungle as well. But right now for Johan, they can take away another hero that they are not comfortable playing against or playing with.
Yep. Can't forget the Suyo Matilda combo as well. I feel like Suyo is getting popular onto the jungle phase alongside Julian as well. So they would want to limit their choices by banning out that Matilda because in my opinion, Matilda, she is one of the most hardest heroes to counter or to catch because of her guiding wind and her circling eagle. So, you would just want to ban her out rather than face off against her. But again, a Suyo ban coming in from the side of Zohan right now. 2 slots going on to the jungle, just limiting out the choices for the jungler of Team Royal Manipur right now. Although Royal Manipur, they have one last ban for the first phase. There's still a lot of hero choices that they can ban out. But, I feel like the hero which poses the most threat right now is that Zushin because she displaces here and there quite a lot. And compared to Zushin, I feel like other heroes are quite counterable. What do you say, Debbie?
Yeah, that's very counterable, and that the Justin is going to be a swing and plate, and he's going to be picking out with no second thought. And I understand this because Hayabusa has been considered direct counter for the Juicin, and they are the one actually taking it away, and so they are setting up for the Juicin, and the Royal Manipur, they deem the tanky heroes more worthy to be banned away, so the Juicin has been completely left open. Right now they need to answer this Juicin, but if they pick up
I highly agree with what Debbie said at banning out that Hayabusa, the exact direct counter for that Zushid. I mean, Faden, he took out no less than a second to to lock on that Zushin. But if we see Team Royal Manipur, they decide to go for that Granger paired with that Hylos, just taking all the OP heroes out in the first half, because if it's left open, then they might just go for that ban. So overall, quite a great pick coming in from both the sides, and CC gets onto the pick list for the side of Zohunt, countering out that Hylos right there.
A very easy counter, and the Hylos being hit there. I feel like 3 counters already onto the hands of Zohan for a Hylos. So this kind of put Royal Manipur in a position where they do not want to give these Hylos into the room position or the XP steal, and it's gonna be hard for him wherever he goes, because even if he is into the XP side, the availability of the CC, the chunk down potential, the shredding potential of the CC with the Yo-Yo Blitz will be too much for him to handle, and the rotation wise, Zohan is supposedly going to be having that early game tear-down potential to take it away. So right now, for Royal Manipur, they need to have an answer to this kind of composition. What do they go for here? Because the tanky frontliners are not to be considered here, because the Zushin is already there.
I agree. With the pairing of Zushin and that CC and that Alpha, it's kind of a full shredder combo for any of the frontline, because usually the frontlines, they are all the high HP heroes, but Zohan, they picked heroes which can shred all those high HP. So Royal Manipur, they are kind of in a predicament as to what they would be choosing for the late game potential. For the late game security though, they do have that Sicilian and that Granger, but for them to start doing the damage from mid to late, they kind of need that farm as well. And early phases of the game, they need an initiator aside from that Hylos, and at this point I feel like it will be kind of hard for Team Royal Manipur to counter the draft that is coming from the side of Team Zohunt. But overall, Fanny was left open. Zohan decided to ban her out, and of course we can't forget the counter of Granger, Irithel getting banned out.
That's just gonna be given a direct easy lane phase for this Granger here. But then again, there's still so many choices for Prime to pick it up, because the Herald is still out into the open, and them banning out the Fanny so very late might be the decision for them to make very easily. But Zohan still need an initiator or a healer if required. But I would like a healer for the side of Team Royal Manipur instead, because there's so many 2 damage and tanky frontline counters for Zohan too much, and maybe the tanky frontliners might not be the best choice for here, because the Hylos is not gonna be that much of a trouble for Zohan, because they already have an answer to that. So you know what, I thought that the Sicilian might not be appearing, but the Eve should have been a good choice here. But then again, they might want to go for that late game, so for Royal Manipur, they really need an early game heroes. There's so less jungles available, because already half of the jungle potential has been banned out. If they are just left with the Nolan, or what are the choices? There's so less in the choices of the jungle still, so they are in a predicament where they cannot pick away any hero yet, so they have to go with the safer choices. The Hilda will be appearing for a potential dive, but then again, Zohan might be coming out with something very different again, because the Cho might actually be in favor here. But if they try to play it safe, they can go for something else entirely.
Agree with you. For the side of Royal Manipur, they still have the Joy open, but it's kind of debatable as to if they will pick that or not. But as you said, Debbie, the Chow is definitely trying. It's a family problem. He is hovering around the Chow, and I feel like he might be locking him on. And he does quite a really solid draft for the side of Team Zohunt, I would say. They have the, going in and picking out hero. They have the backline damage, frontline shredder they already have, and paired with that Zushin and that Harit, both of them should be able to, take out all of the frontline heroes, while Family Problem goes in with his Flicker, We Have the Dragon combo to take out that Granger, or maybe that Sicilian for themselves. So the draft looks a little hard for the side of Team Royal Manipur, and it's the jungler that is left for this side. So what will they be going for? Because what can they even go here? They need someone who has mobility, because if you look at the side of Team Zohunt, they kind of have all of the CC one here or the another, and they decide to go for that Ling lock coming in.
Okay, the Ling in this kind of competition, especially against a hero like Alpha, who's gonna be casually invading, and not to mention a Cho onto the room position. This is gonna be so hard of a game for a Ling, but still, what are the choices that he has? Because even with the Joy, I feel like the Joy against a hero like the Harriet and a Cho and a Alpha, it's not gonna be worth it. So they might try to go for a comfortable hero for the side of Royal Manipur here. So the Ling might be the only option that they want to go for, and I would like to see him try for this early game, because the early game Zohan have it locked and loaded for themselves, because for Royal Manipur the picks are so expensive, because they have a Granger, they have a Ling and a Sicilian. So the late game, the mid game is for the Ling and the Granger, but still the late game ability is still there. But Zohan, they're taking this early game into their hands, and they might be a nuisance at the start.
I feel like Zohan, they can definitely go for the early game invade, because they have the Alpha, they have the Zushin, they have the Cho. So, there's a lot of poke potential coming in from the side of Team Zohan, and if they go for that Ling buff invade and supposedly delay the blue buff of Ling, then, Ling might just have a hard time going against it. But look at that, already a poking game coming in from Faden, paired with that family problem. Harriet going against a Granger, it will be just the laners against themselves 1v1. They have to work it out, play well, and just play some mind games here and there. But look at that, Momo, okay, already invading the buff of Alpha, but Alpha, he decides not to go onto the bottom lane, but going towards the top lane, maybe try to gank on that Hilda first.
Yeah, this is gonna be the bad thing as of right now, but the goal lane is supposedly gonna be focused by Johan here, but to look at that Faden and the family problem trying to be a nuisance like we mentioned, and the stun is gonna be there, the displacement is placed, but on theory, Prime onto that Harry is gonna be supposedly having a good time against Natsukeshi and to that Granger. So the early game, definitely the goal has more pressure, and CC versus Hilda is gonna be giving the CCA much of an edge. And so the rotation wise, we have to say it's safe to say that Johan will be the one having a much better farm and a much better rotation by the top side.
They know Win will be the one causing the problem. So First Blood Momonoke gets it, and Faden does decide to take one revenge, and Hilda gets taken down. Real Kumar is onto the chopping block next, but Faden, he does not have enough of his mana, but Dusty Mizo onto the mid lane. He gets taken down 1 versus 2, and Momonoke takes one more kill in his hands right there. Faden trying to do a little damage here and there, but Ling, he has a lot of mobility, so she is not able to land her displacement at all, but it proved me wrong. Win takes one more kill, and Ling gets taken down right before the turtle fight. But look at that, Biju Hunter is going in with his aggression, but family problem there to save the day as well. Real Kumar might be on the chopping block next. Look at that CC, Yo-Yo Blitz and Curtain Call coming in from Win, taking him out. More resources getting used up. The Bats Feast getting used up by Sicilian as well. Overall, a great follow-up coming in from the side of Team Zohunt, and it seems like the turtle will be uncontested going towards the side of Zohunt.
Yeah, this is going to be a great start for Johan. Maybe they did lose out their jungle, Dusty Misery, but then again, they have Faden onto that juicing is going to be available 100% of the time into the jungle. But there's going to be a steal on the top there.
Oh, Wave the Dragon coming in. Real Kumar is stopped in his tracks. Family Problem takes one more kill in his hands. Penchi trying to do something, but he is not able to because he does not have the early game damage, and his mana is also in one of the problems that Sicilian faces. But Prime is onto the chopping block next. The Tempest of Blades gets used up. Momonoke takes one more kill in his hands. Natsukashi is onto the chopping block next. Fade and doing a really great job with his lantern flare, and next will be chopping onto the chopping block. Might be the Sicilian, but he does use up his Purify to get away. The Glorious Pathway gets used up, and Real Kumar will be surviving that massacre. But look at that, Momonoke was in the bush. He gets caught up by the Chow. 3 people onto him, and he gets taken down. Quite quite a mess up of that position, I would say, Debbie.
Yeah, Zohan, they were thirsty for blood, and whenever they were looking at it, they finally caught up to the Moba, but there's a stick kick might be there. There's a diver.
Look at that. Natsukashi gets taken down right in his turret. Is a man force and all of the displacement coming in from Fade and doing all the work. He keeps stacking up, but not enough to get the Sicilian out of the way. But the way of the dragon coming in, Hylos might be in trouble. He gets taken down. Dusty Mizo, one more kill, killing spree onto his hands right before the turtle spawns. A really great objective gameplay and a discipline coming in from the side of Zohan. They are not stopping. They know that they can go aggressive because they have the Chow, the Zushin paired with that Alpha. So and they know their full potential and they are not stopping back.
They know that they can stay in the team fight as much as possible because they have the equipment, and still, even if they try to look for something out of the blue, they can still look for it even with the absence of objective wise too. But the top side might be in the trouble here. Winner gets taken very low. Tempest of Blade is still there, Joe.
Yep. Team Royal Manipur, they decide to go for that CC instead of that turtle because they know if they contest for turtle right now, they will be the one in the disadvantage. So they are just trying to go for a trade and supposedly pop out the top turret for the side of Team Zohunt while all of them are busy right around the bottom half of the map, and they do get taken out the top lane turret, which kind of evens out the goal difference, but it's still quite a lot for them to catch up. Although at this point I feel like Royal Manipur, they can't really go for any other team fight. But look at that, one more kill onto the hands of Dusty Mizo with the help of Chow right there. Hilda gets taken down and it might be more pressure onto the mid lane, but look at that, glorious battle gets used up. Spare of Alpha onto the backline. Granger gets taken down and the mid lane turret as well. A really great reverse objective coming in from the side of Team Zohan. The Tempest of Blades trying to get Faden out, but he flickers out right on point, and Ling gets taken out in the hands of Dusty Mizo yet again.
Oh, that was a perfect chance of event for Zohan. They are practically sitting in a lead where they can try to look for some kind of team fight, because they have a pressure onto the Juice and onto Fade, and a family problem with that Choke too, and Destiny go perfectly on time with that Alpha again. And we have to see the builds too, because right now, in comparison with the Harris with Prime, he already got 2 items. Meanwhile, for Natsukashi, he have only 1 items into his hands. The Hunter Strike won't be enough to deal the damage, the required amount of damage that the team is looking forward to him to deal. And even with the Link, he only have the Berserkers to deal with. So it's gonna be so hard, but the dive coming out from the Mizo Plenty will be taken away very easily. Momo, okay, he does not have anything to do here, but the kick might be there.
Oh, the way of the dragon gets immune by the Tempest of Blaze from Momo. Okay, it was the right use of resources, I would say. But as far as I know, Debbie, the problem with having a Sicilian, we'll talk about that later, because Natsukashi might be in trouble because of the Lantern Flare coming in from Zushin. He does get taken down by Win while spamming out his Death Sonata trying to get away, but onto the back line, Sanguine Claws gets connected. Chow trying to help Win get out of the trouble. Hilda, though, the amount of damage dishing out Win, he escapes with that little of HP. A backline though, Dusty Mizo might be in trouble, but Bijou Hunter gets taken down in the hands of Faden yet again. This is the problem of having a Zushin open in your team. I mean, the amount of CC and the amount of damage that she deals, it's quite phenomenal, and you would not want to open up a Zushin until and unless you have someone to go towards the backline and burst her out. But in this case, it's looking really hard for Team Royal Manipur to go even to the backlines, because there is a Chow, there is an Alpha, which will be stopping you from going towards that towards that Zushin and that Harriet.
Yeah, that's gonna be so close, and the only hero that's available for them was the Link to look for the dive, but the kick is there. That might not be a damage coming out from there. The best piece will be connecting again, but Hilda will have to survive because this is a chunky member for the side of Royal Manipur, but the displacement is still up. The second class will not be connected, but we're trying to look for something. The Glorious Power is still there. Displacement is being placed. Prime into the picture. Real Kumar will be taking away another kill onto 200 for Prime. We have the damage required now. He's coming online, but oh, meanwhile to the top side, there's a solo jungle versus jungle, but it's a fighter jungle with so much tankiness and a queen swings onto his hand. Dusty Mizo will be surviving, but the Lord will be marching down for Johan, and to the bot side we have two towers to focus on.
Oh, look at that family problem going in. Nachikasi gets taken down with the help of his weird dragon, but Sicilian will be taking that kill for himself right there. I would say it was a complete good trade for the side of Team Zohunt, because it was the marksman that was getting taken down, and the more you gank the marksman, the less of the the less of the farm he will be getting. So it was a great one. And look at that shutdown coming in from Momo. Okay, Zushin gets taken down. Dusty Mizo might be onto the chopping block next. Biju Hunter gets him out of the way. Double kill for Momo. Okay, right there. Harriet was not able to survive at all. Win trying to go, maybe trying to do some damage, but the vision from the side of Team Royal Manipur is on point. And although he is quite alone, Chow is there for the backup. Although it's just 2 versus 4. Are they planning to go in? I mean, Chow is there. It looks like a fumble from his side. Although he gets taken down in the hands of Natsukashi, and CC will be the one remaining, just going around here and there, just trying to protect our mid lane turret.
Yeah, that was a good rotation coming out from Momo. Okay, because I see him trying to look for something of a buff onto the other side, just trying to deny that team is as much farm as possible. And we can see right now he is the one onto the actual goal lead. And he already got 2 true damage. I mean, 2 life steal items into his hands, and maybe he's looking for survivability because Ling has been pretty much quicker with the mobility that is provided for. And right now, as it's another survivability for Natsukati onto that Grandeur, he got the Rose Gold Meteor, so we cannot forget the Holy Crystal is still out for Prime, and he's gonna be having the power strike that he's looking for, but the Faden might be in trouble here.
Yeah, Faden does get taken out in the hands of Team Biju Hunter right there. Prime onto the chopping block. Next, Momoki is trying to go for family problem. He does succeed. A kill spree for him right there. It might be a reverse sweep coming in from the side of Team Royal Manipur, because there's 2 people remaining and they are getting the damage because they are having that farm. At this point of the match, I feel like Zohan, they kind of need to stop going around here and there and stay together and try to, go for a full-on complete team fight, because if we look at that, there is the level gap coming in from their side, and if they go together, they should be able to dish all of them out. But once more, Dusty Mizo onto the chopping block. Biju Hunter gets his killing spree for himself with Dusty Mizo down. It might be an uncontested lot for the side of Team Royal Manipur, but Faden has another planted lantern flare paired with a crimson beacon, trying to dish out something from Real Kumar. He is quite low though. Harriet does get him out of the way. Natsukashi might be on the chopping block next. Look at that family problem going in with the flicker away of the dragon. Natsukashi gets taken down, and another tight turning event coming in from the side of Team Zohunt. Although Team Royal Manipur, they got the Lord. Team Zohunt, they are dominating the whole of the entirety of the map right now, and it is just kind of a free Lord. But again, Momoki trying to go in. Mega kill for him right there with the Tempest of Blade shutdown coming in from Harriet. Prime on his prime. With that, Harriet, he gets 1 more kill in his hands. A total team wipeout for 2 people remaining. Faden, he needs to kind of back down because it's a 2 versus 1 situation, and Alpha is there taking out the Lord, preventing him from doing any further damage.
That was a great turn of events, and so chaotic and so runny, I would say, because it was so long. The longevity of this game, of the team fights right might next will actually be putting Zohan in a better position, because they are having a condition where they still have those heroes that can be used in a longer team fights. And looking at the stats of the Capriccio right now, 216 for a Grandeur, and that's the Kabi. So he doesn't have the Sky Piercer stacks yet, because he was building. He's already sitting in a 7 kill. So 1 kill is not going to be dealing that much of a damage, or the Sky Piercer will take one out there. But the dive is still there. The cutting pole will be committed. The kick might be still there. Look at that.
The amount of aggression coming in from Zohunt, okay, it's quite a lot, and another team fight might be breaking out. Family problem is forced to use out his immortality, but Biju Hunter will be getting taken out in the hands of Zushin right there. Dusty Mizo onto Sicilian, he is able to get him down. Double kill for Faden right there onto Natsukashi, And that was a really successful team fight initiation coming in from the side of Zohan. Family Problem trying to poke out that link. Momo does get one kill on himself. Double kill for him. Prime gets taken down. And he does manage to escape as well. And look at that, jumping around here and there around the wall, trying to find a way to escape while being surrounded by all of Zohan right there.
Momoke has been playing so far into the backside, always trying to look for something of a trade. And meanwhile, he did manage to take it time and time again. He was the only one who had the goal onto his hands because right now he's a 30k goal. Meanwhile, his team has been so far behind with 7k goals, and it's not even good for Natsukasi because he's so behind in comparison to Raiden onto that Zusin against a hero like Zusin. So still, even if there are chances for a Royal Manipur to have a comeback, it's all gonna be into the hands of Momo. Okay, here he's gonna be the one doing all the damage, and for Zohan, they have to look out for this guy because they have a win that can chunk him down quite low with the Tempest of the Candy Pops again, but the Lord fight is still there. But Momo will be securing that retribution perfectly on time.
But if you see Dusty Mizu, he was trying to go against the backline, failing miserably though, but with the help of Family Problem, Zushin does get one more kill onto himself. Halos gets taken down, and another member down right before the Lord comes in the hands of Royal Manipur. But again, Family Problem, he is not backing down. Look at that, the Bat Sphere is getting used up from Sicilian, dealing all the damage. Win right in the middle. And Sicilian gets taken out in the hands of Prime. Double kill for him right there. Bijuwada gets taken down. Natsuka, she's on the chopping block next. Flicker coming in from Prime, taking him out right away. Momoke is forced to recall in his base, but it is the end for the side of Team Royal Manipur. Zohunt takes the first match of this best of 3 series, Debbie.
That was a perfect execution. Zohan, they were, feeling the nuisance, feeling the exaggeration of what Momoke was doing onto the backlines time and again. They weren't able to catch him, but still the team for Royal Manipur, except for Momoke, wasn't able to do anything just yet because they were falling down time and again onto the hands of Aiden, Dusty Mizo, and Family Problems combination. And when the time comes for Prime and Win to step up, they were already so behind. And Prime and Win, they did manage to do when they are out of the lane what they were supposed to do, and I would say it was a good execution coming out on the part and understanding of which hero is going to be prioritized and more. They were completely ignoring Momoke and letting him slide away with so much of a kill into his hands. Still then, he managed to secure a kill onto the important members of Zohan, but then again, it wasn't enough for Royal Manipur because the required DPS for the side of RM wasn't there for them because Natsukasi, even though with this kind of build, he wasn't able to survive the onslaughts and he hasn't had that much of a damage that they needed. And Pentia onto that Sicilian doesn't have the farm because Zohan, they were all marching down onto their front side, shoving them in, not giving them farm and not letting them breathe even a little. It was only Momoke with the mobility that was able to survive any kind of onslaught. Still, Zohan, they are coming out on top, but for Royal Manipur, they can come up with a with a draft that can be a literal counter for the side of Zohan here. Maybe ban out the Jushin for Faden. That might be the choice that I'm looking here.
We can just think this is a warm-up match for both the teams. First match, it was won by Zohan, but who knows? Next match, it might be Royal Manipur because we already saw a glimpse of how Zohan plays. And if they're quick to catch up on, they should be able to, get all of the weak points or maybe reverse counter draft the draft coming in from Zohan. So before we find that out, we will be taking a short break. Just don't go anywhere.
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very, very exciting news for you.
Wardrum Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
guys, is the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardroom Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
Dear doomed king, the time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second match of this best of 3 series happening right now between Team Zohunt and Team Royal Manipur right now. The sides have been swapped, and this time the question is, will Royal Manipur be able to go for a reverse sweep or will it be a clean sweep? Coming in from the side of Team Zohunt, onto the casters decks yet again. This is your girl Zero and my fellow caster Debbie right here.
Yep, so I feel like Royal Manipur they have more to give to us than the one that we have seen Momo OK stepping up to the perfect composition and with the perfect gameplays and synergized micro as well. But the other players have to step up as well because for Zohan they're playing with equal amount of skill sets, so they cannot depend on one hero to carry their game. So this time around, I want the other players of Royal Manipur to have a better chance into what they are doing. So we have to see what the bans are up because right now the Matilda Lucas ban coming out from the side of Royal Manipur who have the first choice. And still sticking to the original plan, it's gonna be the Hayabusa and the Jujutsu band away for Zohan. So they do not want to give away that Jujutsu even though they could use it for themselves because they are into the second pick. Still, Royal Manipur, they have a lot of choices. Will they go for the meta bans or something that they do not want to face? That's the question.
Yep, I agree with you. You know, given the fact that Zushin was the one dominating the whole match in the first game, it it is a respect ban coming in from the side of Team Zohunt because this time Royal Manipur they have the first pick, so they don't want to give that Zushin because Zohunt they know the full potential of that Zushin, and of course we can't forget the Matilda, the Lucas, and the Hylos as well. This time Royal Manipur themselves decided that it is not a great idea to keep that Halos open since they won't be prioritizing him since they have the first pick. But overall, there is still a lot of heroes open. The question is, what will Zohunt go for in this last ban for them?
They can still go for the Fanny ban. Okay, so they are sticking with the CC ban here. So I feel like the CC ban wasn't that much of a necessity, but still for Dusty, no, he's a hero. He's a tanky fighter jungle hero user, so maybe he wants to have a set of a tempo and a non counter, but still they are putting out a hero that's gonna be a short to manage and a flexible to it's the Badang being prioritized much better than the Grandeur or the Herit in combination. So if they take out the Badang with so much flexibility, they are giving away two important heroes. It's just Rio they got into jungle. This is the recently raining hero into the jungle side, so this is gonna be the Suyo and the Phobias in combination. Still, Phobias so early, but the Badal and the Phobias lane is kind of a 50-50 matchup because both of these heroes are gonna be trying to clear out just a little bit and just trying to join the team fight as much as possible. But still, we do not know where the Badang is gonna go. So there are so many choices still for the side of Team Royal Manipur to pick it up, and they have a step up in a change in their member as well because Lucam now is gonna be appearing into the picture. So maybe he can have a marksman of choice into his hands to take this game.
Yep. You know, look up, he might be the key of to Royal Manipur winning the second match because it is the game point for them, and if one more win goes onto the side of Zohunt, then it will be a clean sweep for them. So it is quite crucial for them to play it out well. We already see this one of the same picks, I would say, coming in from Royal Manipur, the Sicilian and that Granger are getting picked out, but this time Biju Hata will be on to that Badang instead of the Hilda. So Badang, as we all know, he is quite of a hard man to counter. I mean, the amount of knockbacks he gives you and the amount of sustain he does paired with that face wall, it is quite of a menace to go around him and supposedly near him as well, because he might just be dashing near you, and paired with that fist crack, it will be hard for you to get away until and unless you have an immune or a dash skill towards you. But again, if we look at the side of Team Zohunt, this time Dusty Mizo will be picking up on that Suya.
All right. Yeah, that's really very understandable, right? But that got put to ban away by Zohan. So they do not want to give away the potential for the Badang to go into the room or another flexible heroes for the Royal Manipur team. So very understandable, but still, Prime picking up his signature hero to go against the command to that Granger again. They have an answer for the Granger and they do want to verify. So we have a mix built now, but right now for the side of Royal Manipur. They ban away the Eve, making pathway for them to pick out the Alpha or something else because remember, okay, was so perfect until the Assassins. Still, the joy is still available up for grabs against the Studio might be a 50-50 chance, and Studio supposedly is gonna be having a weaker lane in comparison with the Joy, but still it depends on the micro of the player. So what can they do here? The Tigers taken away, so this is gonna be a great choice for Zohan because they are looking like experiments that we play together with a lot of damage as well. But right now, I respect that we have to see for Royal Manipur. The show they get away. Okay. I say family problem is so good on those pickup heroes. So if they don't, if he doesn't have the show, he's gonna be working on to that Zohan, so he needs to combine it with a Shredder into his team, so the mate will preferably has to be something that can chunk you down very early on with the Executor and a Muscle potential. So right now, what Royal Manipur can do here is assassin that can literally be a counter for the Harriet, but still it's gonna be hurt because the Fanny is still up for grabs. If Momo can play the Fanny, he's gonna be hurt, but then he's still gonna be ignoring and going directly for that Julian. And I would say Julian and a Harriet matchup is not something I don't know if I wanna see usually. Early game, security is still there, so for Royal Manipur on the roam, definitely that Carmela, but then Baden knocking out onto his signature heroes, that's going to be the Valentina being opened away, so the Carmela has to be careful in how she positions herself, because the Curse of Blood is always going to be focused and taken away by Baden time and again. A match and a draft on, so the teams are ready in what they are going to be going for here. Looking at the draft so far, the early game definitely into the hands of Zohan this time around again. But for the late game security and the early game security is present for Royal Manipur here with a change up in their lineup with their Granger user, the marksman being changed, Lucum into the picture. What can they do here? What they are going to be using here? Because right now, this is the second game for Zohan versus Royal Manipur. We have to see what Royal Manipur have into their picture, into their minds, because they can try to prolong this game, or will this be a clean sweep? Only time will tell. Right now, we have to jump into the land of dawn. We have to see both of these teams are farming it out for a little bit into the great position here. But yeah, Julian is definitely going to be having a good time in the clearance deal, and he's going to be having that level 3 online. So we have to see what thing is going to be happening for Will tomorrow. The jungle clearance is still available. But Joe had a family problem. He's just trying to steal out onto that small creep. Alrighty. Alright, Dustin is over family problem taken very low. That's an enhanced chain. And Dustin will be on to that first, but taken down by Momo. Okay, very early on. That's not a good start for Johan. But still, there's no response coming out from the side of family problems. Still, Prime, he has to be careful on the laning phase that he has against Lucam, because the range is still up better for Lucam still. But under the mid side, we have seen Baden being able to drone away Tenty onto that Sicilian, denying him of stacks time and again, because right now the minions are falling down, crumbling onto the side of Johan, but he's going to be losing a lot of lane for this Penty for Sicilian, and it's not going to be stacking the best as possible, and this is the threat that we see when the Joe is in combination with a Valentina. So, oh, there's a Dejector being caught, a real Kumar. Okay, that's gonna be a save. The sun is done by the Mizo, but he has not much of a follow-up coming out. A miss of a snipe, but still Faden. He's gonna be still in the lead. Right now he's just trying to dive in some dominance on who the better mate is. But oh, the Mizo might be in trouble here, but Momo okay diving into a team of the 3 members. We will be securing that kill as Faden. A kill onto Sicilian, but we cannot forget Luke comes soloing Prime onto the goal side, yo.
Yeah, I saw that, and it was quite phenomenal going against a Harriet. I thought Harriet was the one supposed to be countering the Granger, but look, he has some other plan. But again, Team Zohan, they will be securing their turtle for themselves. Sorry, Debbie, you had to carry the game like how Momoke was carrying the game last match. But yeah, hey, I'm back with you. And
Yeah.
I saw it was a 1-0 in the one minute before actually, and the game tied. It turned right before the turtle fight was happening, so it was kind of a rebounce back coming in from Zohan right there. Family problem going on to Real Kumar. He gets taken down, And this is the one more problem for having a jawhead in your enemy. You never know when he's about to charge in and just, you know, pick you up and throw you away anywhere where your enemy is, and you won't be even able to do anything until and unless you have a purify on yourself. Lucam onto chopping block next. He gets taken down. Dusty, one more kill, secure it by himself. With the help of his team as well. But again, Lucam, they know the potential of Lucam and they are targeting him quite well this time.
Yeah, this is gonna be the focus on the goal lane side. Is committed again. Real Kumar might be in trouble. That's a stun. And the person will be committed defensively just for survival, but still. Prime is still focusing onto that gold plating. Lucam is back into the picture. Prime will be taken very low. The blood force will be popped just for survivability, and the Insector will be used just to knock him away. So this is gonna be a good trade for Zohan. Still get the loser here, but all to the top side. There's something here.
Win, he is going for Momo, okay, with his Infernal Pursuit. He does get taken down. That was a failed, what do you say, invade coming in from the side of Team Royal Manipur. And I mean, did you see how the Phobius was just jumping around here, and that he had that much of HP, but he was able to sustain that much of damage. And you know, Royal Manipur, they were forced to get back onto their own lane. But overall, again, Lucam, he is getting targeted by Zohunt, and you know, trying to give a better farming potential for Prime, because he will be the one doing the damage. Faden does take Sicilian and his ult away, but family problem jumping in yet again. Sicilian onto the chopping block. Faden takes him down, paired with Prime, taking Lucam out just by himself. Win taking Real Kumar down as well. Onto the inside the turret though, the fist crack coming in from Badang. A double kill for him right there, but Faden doing the finishing blow. Kill spree for him. Momo, okay, reverse taking out Prime. He did a mistake by underestimating Momo, okay, on that Julian. A really great outplay coming in. Prime, he will be getting on the chopping block next, Debbie.
Yeah, that was a good start to steal, but the sector players might be there. That's stoppable force too, but Faden doesn't have the skill set yet, and Lucam will be securing that kill. Faden might be in trouble here. The stun is there, shut down, and Tanty will be seeking his revenge, and it's going to be successful, but the Lord's Turtle actually will be onto the focus for the side of Team, and they will be able to secure this, and this is going to be a good start for them. This is going to be a good back at the kill counts. If you have seen, it's going to be more for Zohan, but still, they are looking for a comeback, and we have to see the Thunderbell being built up by the Badang, and it's going to be a good start for them. The Thunderbell will be stacking up, and he's always available on the perfect time, and he's going to be needed, right? Because the Carmela is not the main better that we are looking for. He's going to be popping out of nowhere with the distraction on to them too. So yeah, the position is still there, but the top lane, oh my goodness, that team is got solo killed by Momo. Okay, onto that Julian. This is not something you do not want to see onto your jungler.
I mean, you know, we all know the potential of that Julian, but family Momo, okay, will he be okay? That is the question. But look at the outplay coming in. He does get away, but Win is on to the backup. Will they be able to get Momo okay? He does get away with that, but overall Faden gets taken down in the hands of Lucam right there, playing a really great Granger. This is how you would want to play when you have a Granger, you know. You need to have that range, you need to, you know, maintain your distance while having all your bullets connected with your Rhapsody and your Death Sonata, because that is the main damage for you. And of course, you can't forget to stack up as much as you can, right?
Top lane will be onto the focus, but the stoppable force onto the best possible member. Lucam will not be taken down by Royal Kumar into the focus again. Lucam taking the kill onto his own double kill. Prime will fall down. 3-2 Hunter will be taking another one, but Lucam with the triple kill. This is gonna be a cutback mid by Royal Manipur against Zohan. They do not want to sit still. They want to go for more. They are bloodthirsty, and they are looking for more again, because look at the mid-side is on the focus, and Win is the only one available, and he won't be able to clear it out, but the minions will eventually fall. and family problem into the picture right now, but he cannot go in because there's no damage coming out from the side of Zohan, and they are not there available, but the flicker is committed, but he might be in trouble. The stun is still there, and Pinky will be taking a kill on the family problem. He was alive, but now he's gone.
I mean, very problem. I feel like he kind of made a mistake trying to go for an engage while they were quite not ready. But if we see, we have two different objectives coming in from the side of Team Royal Manipur. The Cast of Blood gets connected and Win gets taken down. Faden onto the chopping block. Next Momo, okay, double kill for him right there. Monster kill for Lucum onto that Granger. Dusty Mizo getting away with that slither of HP, and family problem just getting spawned, just thinking what is happening right there. I just died for one time, and the tide has already changed. This time Zohunt, they need to mark that Granger more than ever because he's the one doing the damage. 725 KDA right now on him, and already 50 stacks on the Sky Piercer and 420 stacks off his bullets right there, Debbie.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good start. This is a different Granger that we are seeing, and a better player of a Granger now. And Prime has been getting solo, but he might be in trouble here. Real Kumar driving in. The Smart Force will be popped just to defend that tower. He's trying to hug onto that tower, and I would say Johan are in a position where they are into the back seat, and at this moment, they are driving in. Prime might be in trouble.
4 people near surrounding Prime. I mean, 3 of them were needed to take him out away, and if that was not possible, it would have been the last hit would have been to someone coming in from the back line. But look at that ejector coming in from family problem against Lucam, but he does not have anyone on the other side. Momoki going after Faden. Family problem gets taken down yet again. Two more kills onto the side of Royal Manipur. This time they are bouncing back with the help of Lucam as well. And the pressure is building onto the side of Zohan this time. Sanguine Claws connecting onto Win yet again, but will they be going for an engage because the Lord is already spawned? Momoke is going after that Lord, and with the amount of zoning coming in from the side of Team Royal Manipur, it is an uncontested Lord for their side.
Yeah. This is gonna be hard for Johan here because the damage coming out from the Granger, from Lucam onto the Granger is too much for them to handle, because look at him now. He already got 4 items on his kits, and it's another very, very expensive item. The BOD has been built away. Meanwhile, for Prime, he is yet to build up the Holy Crystal, which is a key item for him, and without that, he's not gonna be having the power spike, and they might not go for the teamfights as much as possible. So Faden, even so, with the early game damage that he had, it wasn't. He's put in a back foot right now because they have been losing, but there is a fight. Oh my goodness, 1 kill onto Panty, and Dusty Mizo will be securing that kill, but the Lord will be marching onto the mid side.
Look at that legendary Lucam gets him out. Dusty Mizo onto the Chonglong. Nice double kill for him. The ejector coming in from family problem, taking out Biju on the triple kill for Lucam right there. There is 2 people remaining. Will he be going for a maniac or hopefully a savage? Because the damage coming in from Lucam, that is a maniac in his hands. Family problem might be next. He is going for Lucam. Flicker gets used up, but the rose gold passive is there. A savage for Lucam right there. The game point for the side of Team Royal Manipur, and of course you can't forget the recall, and you have to spam that recall. You have to.
Yeah, you have to, because we got the Savage here in the first game. Dusty Mizo got in getting the Maniac, but still, the Savage is always better than the Maniac, and Lucam showing that he is the better jungler, he's the better gold laner, going against Prime, soloing him and 1v1 situation, and even coming to the point where he builds out all the expensive item into his hands and able to stack up with the Capriccio as well as this guy. He's perfect on into these heroes, and I would say this is gonna be the he's got to be the solution, right? He's got to be the solution of this team. And when he got the comfort and Momo, okay, he was tired into the first game, but right now he has to come on his side, and the supporter of his team, Real Kumara as well. We cannot forget that they have the chance to have this another final match between them, because Zohan, they won't be able to back down, and I know Faden might have to grit his teeth and find something of a carry hero that he can carry with, because even in the early stages of this game, if Valentina was enough, the late game wasn't it for him, because at that point, too much damage onto Lucan, it was so much for Zohan to handle.
Yep. I think it's safe to say Lukam is the ace of Team Royal Manipur because
Yeah.
he was the one changing the tide of the game. I mean, securing the Savage at the last moment. I mean, you can tell he had his full build ready. He was the one dealing all the damage. And of course, you can't forget his positioning as well. On point, not going for any unnecessary team fight. Just right in the moment, and it forces out a third match between Team Zohunt and Team Royal Manipur. I mean, this is how you want a best of 3 series to be, right, Debbie?
That is what we are looking for, and you know what? The final is gonna be lit. Both the teams are gonna be bloodthirsty. They want to have the trophy, right? And they do not want the game to end very, very soon, because at this time around, the picking will be changed, the sides will be changed, and Johan will be having that advantage to have that first pick. So they have to cook on something. Maybe prioritize a better hero for you know, the team is because they can last pick the mates again, and maybe come up with a situation where Prime can win out against Lucan onto any kind of hero that they have.
I agree with you. And before we move on to the third and final match, I think everyone should take a break to hydrate themselves and ourselves as well before the final showdown begins. So we'll be meeting you in after 5 minutes.
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very, very exciting news for you.
Wardroom Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
guys, is the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardroom Games. So do follow them, and yeah, see you in the tournament, and I will be casting too.
Come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
the outcome may not be what you expected.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the third and deciding match of this best of 3 series happening right now between Team Zohunt and Team Royal Manipur. First match going on to hands of Team Zohunt. Second was dominated by Royal Manipur with the help of Lukam. And this is the third and deciding match. You know, it will be really interesting because both the teams, they will be fighting for staying in this tournament and they will be giving their all to prove their worth here. So, Debbie, this time, what do you think? You know, how the match would be? Will it be a total domination or will it be a well matched in strength and all?
Yeah, we have seen so far it was a 1-1, so I feel like it's gonna be intense, and both of the teams will be very, very thirsty for that win because they have reached to the finals where they do not want to give anything up. So right now, what Johan can do, and I feel like they'll be able to do is give out a prime, a comfortable hero, so he won't be able to lose to Lucam, and Lucam has been so amazing onto that Granger, so maybe they can decide banning it out or maybe try to ban out the Harriet instead and get the Granger, but the respect is definitely going to be under Lucan. But this guy is so amazing under that goal, and you cannot ban out one hero for him because he will be pulling out the Moskov, he will be pulling out the Harriet, so we'll never know. So what we can know is that the first pick is definitely under the hands of Johan, and they'll be going and sticking to the plan of banning away the Hayabusa time and again. So they are going for the standard classic ban. So what will Royal Manipur respond here? So the answer is going to be the Matilda.
You can never go wrong with banning that Matilda out because she is a bird, and with her Matilda Airlines, it will be hard for anyone to catch up on, you know. And of course, the classic Hayabusa ban coming in from the side of Team Zohunt. We already saw in the first match as well, they were going for that Hayabusa, and this time they decided to give respect to Momo OK, and they will be banning out that Julian so that he does not, does not give any type of hindrance towards the side of Zohan this time.
Yeah, this is gonna be good because right now in the best of 3 series, when you are into the third and deciding game, you do not want to give away the comfort. You want to stick to the meta still, but then you still do not want to give away what is comfortable for your opponent, and they are in a position where they are understanding of their opposition. But right now we can see from Johan's ban, they are taking away the Julian again, like you mentioned, the respect ban from Momo OK, and then the Julian being taken away because in the first game their Royal Manipur had the mistake of giving it to Faden, so I feel like this is a meta and a comfort ban too. So what will Zohan go for here? Okay, the Badang is going to be popping up. So they want to go for something that cannot be countered with a lot of CC. So 2 XP bans coming out for one of the teams. The Lucas going to be respected. And now they are left with Suya, with the Granger, with the Harris. So what are the choices? Because the Hylos is still up there and the CC too.
There is a lot of hero choices open, but I feel like Zohunt, they might be thinking, should we be giving Lucam his Granger back again, or should we be snatching Granger away from him? Because the bans are already been made, and it's the choice of Zohunt right now, but they think Prime will be able to counter out that Granger. You know, maybe they might have something for Lucam and his Granger, because we already saw how good Prime is, and Zohan, they might be cooking up something, but this time Momo OK will be on that Suyo, Real Kumar on the high loss yet again, but this time there will be no Zushin causing a hindrance for him, but there is still a C. And she gets locked down by Wind right there. Of course, you can't forget the Alpha as well. I mean, we are looking similar drafts, from the first match. And this time, Luca will be getting his beloved Granger for himself again.
Yeah, beloved Granger indeed, because they are beloved. Yep, that fits perfectly. Right now, they can ban out the hero that can be a threat for the Granger, so there is a choice. But still, for Peyton, he can still counter the first side if the Yip is being banned away and maybe put the Valentina away because the best wasn't there. There wasn't anyone who can reach Lucan onto the Granger. So the same story will be here because Prime onto that Harriet again, the same lane. And for Dusty Mizo right now, he's got the Alpha, but still he won't be able to reach Lucan onto the Granger with this Rondo. He's going to be available most of the time. So anti-dive, they have to ban out the anti-dive and the range. So the toe is a good choice for Royal Manipur to ban away because they want to have the spacing for Lucan as much as possible. So the choice of pick right now will be into their hands. Maybe they can prioritize their mates and deny Fade and any kind of mates that can be good against Lucan.
Yeah, agree. You know, the Chow getting banned out, a really important ban, I would say, because we already saw how family problem is with the Chow, and he will be going in with his Flicker Way of the Dragon combo. So it will be quite of a danger for Lucum because he will be on the back line, and we already know Chow is a pickup hero. So yes, him onto the ban seems justified, and that obvious paired with a Sicilian as well, but we can't forget the Jawhead coming in from Family Problem. Last match he was doing a really great job, and we just hope he does the same in this match as well. But this time, since Sicilian is banned, Team Royal Manipur, they will be deciding on going for that low E. I mean, a classic combo, right? That high loss and that low E together. The diversion gameplay, and of course the glorious pathway. You know, you never know from which bush they might just come out and go for them. But Hilda is there for the aggression again. Biju Hunter will be onto Hilda. So it looks like both the teams are locked onto each other, and this will be an interesting match. What do you say, Debbie?
Yeah, it's gonna be really fairly interesting, but right now Pentier into a entirely different hero with an entirely different playstyle because the last two games we have seen him on a slow hero, a weak mid laner like the Sicilian, so that has been taken away from him, so he's gonna be really performing differently into this Louis, which is an early game hero too. So right now we have to see what the mid lane is gonna be faring out because the mid lane is where the main focus is gonna be in this kind of meta because rotation wise, if you win out into the clearance into that mid lane, you're going to be having greater time. So I feel like the Vexana might have a better clearance than the Louis. Still, it's going to be aided by their roamers respectively. So we have to see what the teams will be doing in because this is the final match of this best of three series. Both of these teams very thirsty for blood. They want to take this game. They want to have their eyes set on winning and taking this victory.
Yeah, both the teams it is the match point for them, and they won't be tolerating any more mistakes because this will cost you a lot. And since it is a knockout stage, there will be no second chances, and this is the last time for them. But look at that, Suyo going on to the reverse jungle. Same with Alpha. Both the teams, they know each other's rotation, and they are taking full advantage of it. But Biju Hunter, bottom lane, the family problem is alone, and Prime not being able to do anything because he's on only level 2. But the ejector coming from family problem, taking Momo away, but he does get taken down. The flicker coming in from Luoi right on point, predicting Dusty Mizo and his pair of Alpha. I would say it was quite of a resources getting wasted, but hey, you need to survive,
Yeah, you need it to survive, and you want to be as calculative as possible. And Pentier are doing a good job with that, Louis, like you mentioned. And I would say it was getting Zohan quite off guard with the rotation style that was made by the team here. But the Spirit of Alpha being connecting on to Pentier, he might be in trouble, but taken very low. The steal is there, but Faden has to flicker away because he was taken and chunked down very low. But the Lucam, he's just trying to double farm onto the mid side too. So this is gonna be a great start for the side of Team Royal Manipur here because the turtle is definitely under their focus, and the prepping is being made to see into a position where he can try to dive for the warp. But look at that.
Yep, Momoke will be stealing that turtle away, but the Curse Blast coming in. The diversion coming from Luoi, although she is alone, Biju Hunter, he gets chased out. He will be getting away, but reverse chase coming in. Dusty Mizo gets taken down. The Glorious Valley gets used up. Fade and will be taking Biju Hunter away from his own team. He gets taken down 1-for-1 trade going in, but family problem quite low. Momo not being able to chase him away because there were a lot of people around him just to take away, but it's the early phases of the game and there's still a lot to do. But team Royal Manipur, they are definitely invading the buff, but Dusty Mizo does get his buff for himself. It was a failed attempt, using all of your resources just for the last minute hit from your side, but still overall it looks quite stable for both the teams. And CC and Hilda, I feel like it's time for Team Zohunt to put pressure onto Luca, because we also last match, so they should be quite aware of how Lukam is. But family problem taking out Real Kumar, he gets taken down in the hands of Dusty Mizo. Sparrow Wolfa taking him out, and Team Royal Manipur not being able to do anything at all.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great start. But then again, for Zohan, they are in a position where they are giving Lucam a bad time in comparison to the previous game, because right now they are looking for something here. The clearance still be there. Faden just the one trying to dive in first. The Curse of Blood, the Eternal Gardens will be used again, but it won't be enough to set down any kill because they are focusing on the golden plating. But okay, there's a dive. There was a dive zone play, but it's just to use to clear out the minions first. But then again, we have to focus on the mid side because the Electro plays in being made a stoppable force on top of that, and Hilda might be taken down, and Bizu Hunter will not be surviving to see another day because Prime will be securing that kill. This is gonna be a starting from Prime onto that Harris, and a far better performance than he did like in the previous game.
Highly agree with you. And Momoki trying to go in, maybe take that turtle, but there is the zone coming in. He won't be able to go in. Glorious pathway used defensively. I don't know if that was clutch or not. It does look like a little clutch, but again, it kind of worked out for both the teams because it's better to be safe rather than to be sorry. But look, he might be in trouble because Prime is going in with his Zaman Force. Everything gets used up, but he will be getting away with that slither of HP. And Team Zohan, they are hovering around Biju Hunter. He might be on the chopping block because look at that family problem is going in with the ejector. Spear of Alpha gets used up. Dusty Mizo will be taking Biju Hunter down, and top lane in the hands of Team Zohan. Faden, look at that, really low. Momo not being able to go in, do anything though. Diversion yet again near Prime, trying to gang out that Prime, but look, if you look at the position, okay, Loi is there. The yin yang combo gets used up. Prime, he's just trying to stay safe because the pressure is increasing in his lane because he's dominating Lucam right there. And Zohunt, they should kind of pay attention to him as well. But the mid lane, there might be a fight coming out, although there are no minions. Okay, they decide to back down for now, Debbie.
Yeah, one big resources has been burned for the side of Johan here, but still there are resources for the side of Royal Manipur, so still they will be able to take a fight if they want to, because right now they are coming together. The diversion plays that unstoppable force being used, and the glorious pathway will be invasion. Right now they are caught in lower position, but Spirit of Alpha will be connecting again. Another kill coming out for Prime. Panty is taken down. The Mafia will be used, killing spree for Dusty Mizo, but Faden will be the only casualty so far for the side of Johan. But we have to see for Dusty Mizo. He secured a double kill, and right now the turret will be onto the focus on me. Wow, so much chaos going on onto the mid side. The mid turret will be in danger again and will be secured by Johan. 2 turrets down with just one chaotic team fight made by them.
And okay, diversion right in the middle. But okay, that was just a
Or
diversion,
because
just a distraction, I would say. But yes, the turtle does go in the hands of Team Zohan this time, and I feel like Zohan, they are being a pressure. They are putting pressure onto the side of Royal Manipur this time more than the last match, because they are not letting any one of them come out or even farm out. And Lukam, he still has a 000 KDA, so he is stacking up. He is getting all those farm for himself. And it's just a matter of fact, he might just start dominating, because it's almost the mid, almost going on to the mid part of the game. So we will be seeing some epic gameplays. But overall, if we see at the positioning of Family Problem, he is trying to cook up something. Same with Loi and the Royal Manipur as well, but they decide to go back. Momo, okay, though, he might be surrounded with 5 people going in right there. The ejector coming in from Jawhead, helping him out. Dusty Mizo will be taking him away. Luke come onto the chopping block next, but he will be getting away. Zaman Force gets used up. Killing spree for Harith right there. Monster kill coming in. Dusty Mizo dominating yet again for the side of Team Zohan. 10-3 score right now, and the gold difference, 7k gold difference. Do you think Debbie Royal Manipur will be able to get a comeback? Because if we see right now, Zohan, they are putting a lot of pressure.
yeah, the pressure is still out there, and if the Royal Manipur find their spacing, they might be able to, because they are not that far behind in comparison into the gold lane side. But still, the team is sitting in a perfect position where he does have old damage, and maybe he's still going for that Queen Swing in order to survive. This is a classic Dusty Mizo style. Go for the Sky PSL, go for that Sea Helper too, and get that steal onto that Queen Swing. So this is some kind of build that he goes for, and this time around he's the one leading into the gold chart. So still, if we focus onto the XP and not the XP level of those junglers, we have to see that Timido is the better position than Momo. Okay, this time around he's signing up quite a bit, and the lot will be onto the focus here. The diversion play might be made, and they are not aware, because look at that, Johan, they still not aware. Look at the bot side.
Definitely, Lord going under the hands of Zohan. Godlike for Dusty right there, taking Loi out. The current call and the yo-yo that's coming in. Win takes Real Kumar out, just shredding away with his damage and his shred. But look at that Family Problem marking out that Lukam. He will be getting taken down. Biju, there's only one remaining. Going back, Suyo is there right in the mid lane. Spirit Fofa comes in. Momo, okay, will be able to get away though. But the Lord is definitely marching in towards the mid lane, Debbie. It's still level 1 Lord, so Royal Manipur should be able to defend it until and unless they go for a team fight and end up losing their whole team.
This is kind of a different strategy that we have seen so far with Johan, right? They are clumped up together in the perfect position when they are made for a pick off. They are still clumped up together because they do not know where the Louis is gonna be when they are not available. Look at the dive coming in, the unstoppable 4-0.
Yeah, look at that glorious pathway using onto the defensively. Real Kumar won't be able to get away. He gets taken out. Double kill for Dusty Mizo right there. So yo onto the chopping block. But look at that Loi. She is quite low. 2 people remaining to defend the base. The same scenario happening with Faith and Family Problem, just trying to troll him away because they are about to get the game, Debbie, and they do. With this Zohunt, they secure a spot for themselves.
Oh, what a perfect synchronization for Johan. Perfectly chaotic, perfectly trolly, and I would say this is the most unserious team I've seen so far into the top teams, among the top teams. And yeah, with the way they are playing, we have to say they are not serious at all, but still, that's what kept them going, right? The comedic part, their synergy, that's how they are building it, and I can see it from the builds too, because the team is he onto that last part he go for that winter crown because he wants to dive. He wants to dive in a Family Problem, understanding the situation. Even if he dive, then there will be no casualties. He dived to the perfect member, and it was a perfect transition too. But that was a good game coming out from Johan. The late game decision making that they have, it was so uncharacteristic of them, and the style that they have, the chaos has been left behind, and they were synchronizing in a perfect position. And it was in a part where wasn't able to put that perfect diversion on time, and Momo okay taken down. That was a shot that must need to be suited by Zohan, and they made that to their foot advantage, and look at that. Lucam hasn't been able to do anything this game. And right now I say this is what the game sense of the mind and the mentality of the team is gonna be. Because right now Zohan, they are gonna be moving forward with this perfect synergized, very good synchrony of their game, of their playstyle of a squad that they are with so much into their kit. They are gonna be moving forward. Meanwhile, for Royal Manipur, their journey ends here because but then they still will have chance more into the future, but Zohan will be coming out on this tournament. And yeah, before that, we still have one match going on right after this, but yeah, we need to get prepared for this, and we'll be taking a very short break.
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardrum Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
guys, is the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardrum Games. So do follow them, and yeah, see you in the tournament, and I will be casting too.
Dear doomed king, the time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Round-1 Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
Guys, is the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Round-1 Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
Dear doomed king, the time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster?
Do you like fairy tales? Who deserves to live happily ever after? Be good, and you will have a loving home. Be kind, and you will be shown kindness. Be gracious, and you will find true love.
It's all your fault!
I was just having some fun.
Your mother died because of you!
What a bunch of drivel. Break those chains! Embrace your rightful power! I really love a good fairy tale. Who will be the lead of our next story?
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardrum Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
Guys, it's the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardrum Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
Dear doomed king, the time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.
A giant tail above the waves. Is it a sea monster? of down.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to North East Underdogs Tournament, brought to you by Wardrum Esports, and you're watching it on the YouTube channel of Wardrum Games. Right now, for this match, we have all been waiting here, especially, me, Fredo, alongside Itami. We have been talking about it before this, before we started casting here, right, Itami? I mean, Megatron Showdown finally happening. I mean, it has never happened anywhere else. It's finally happening here for the first time on Wardrum Esports North East Underdogs Tournament.
Yes, indeed. And as you said, it is going to be Megatron versus Megatron, but it is going to be between male team versus the female team. But still, they have earned their spots. They are quite recognized squads from both of the sides. So the competition is definitely going to be tough. And it will be like a lot of things is going to be on stake because it is a best of 3. It is not a best of 1, but still it is, going to be quite a competition for both of the sides. And I am seeing like Underdogs Rise, they are quite preparing well for the tournament, and hopefully they will be able to pull up a really good series against Megatron Lafu Kabi.
Yep, Megatron, Lafu, Kabi are clearly the favorites here, being the male lineup, but Underdogs Rise as well. They are one of the top female squads in the region. You can say the whole country, right? And for that reason, they do carry a weight on their shoulders right now to, represent that, girls are also as good as the guys are at this match. And right now, we're already into the band section, and we're looking at the draft happening on our screens. The last band which will be coming in from the side of Underdogs Rise will be the Granger, denying Kaizen of the pick that he really likes to go for.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Granger, even if his laning has been nerfed, I do believe he is still one of the best gold laners. And Lafu Kabi, first pick, they are going for a Chao, which is, we don't see Chao getting prioritized as the first pick, but we gotta remember that Chao can be played as a flex pick here because he can be going onto the EXP as well as onto the roam position. But they will be trading out that Badang, which is a flex pick as well. And apparently Sara is the one picking it, but we are yet to see who will be executing, like which player will be going on with which role, because the Underdogs Rise, they have Siren on their side too, and Siren sees a goal laner as well as Sara, so I guess there will be some role adjustments coming up.
Yeah, there could definitely be role adjustments happening because, you're playing a very good match. You want to bring out the best players. And, if you're taking the best players, of course, those who understand the game well, you might be as well, switching up the roles a little bit to maybe confuse the enemy or even, turn up your game a little bit more, right? Because sometimes you see like some players, they're average on a certain role, they perform better in the other, but it's not like they're bad. They're not like outright bad. So right now, if Sara is going to go for the EXP, I will still be, very excited to see her play EXP for the first time. But like you said, look at that. Siren picking up the Irithel here. I do feel like, though, that the Moskov would have been a much better pick. But what do you think? Why do they ban the Moskov, against the Penny? I mean, because, Moskov would have been a better pick.
I do believe it might be because of comfort. Maybe Siren is not that comfortable on Moskov as much as he is with the Irithel. So it can be the case. And as you said, Moskov actually works as a counter for that Fanny because of the spear he uses and that stun he provides with that S2. So it would have been possible, but onto this game, we are not seeing that Moskov anymore. So they will be following up with the Phobius, but 2 jungler bans coming up from the side of Lafu Kabi already, Ling as well as the Joy. So Ling, it might be a respect kind of a ban because we don't see him quite often onto the ban section. And it would have been other options, like other junglers could have been banned out, but they have decided to go out with the Ling.
Yep. It could be it could be a reason because, they might be comfortable. They know that the enemy does like to play that Ling and Joy, right? So they ban it out. Right now, it's going to be, the Fanny. So I'm not really seeing any counter picks yet from the side of Underdogs, but this pick that we're going to see might be one. But okay, it seems like they do not want to go for that. Instead, they go for the Sicilian here. And the Sicilian in the hands of Sizza is something that I've seen, I've witnessed firsthand. Really good on that Sicilian. But not just that, right? I mean, we know that Sara is a very, very good player overall, especially in the goal lane. But this time, she has switched up roles. She's taken the EXP role. And I mean, even though we know that the Fanny has a lot of mobility, sometimes the wall might be a trap for you.
Yes, indeed. And the wall, it could be, it can be like a double-edged sword. It can actually be executing the team fights, or maybe you might be trapped up with your own wall itself. It can be happening. But from the side of Team Lafukabi, I'm seeing a Layla as well as a Ruby. So, they have decided to maybe go out with a comfort mix mode instead of the meta, because the Layla, she has got some adjustments, as well as the Malefic gun being nerfed out. It is not as much dominating as it was onto that M16, Fredo.
Yep, definitely. But okay, we're going to see here. It's going to be the X-Borg, it seems. And okay, they went for the X-Borg here. Something that surprises every single one, because I mean, the last time I saw an X-Borg playing jungle, it was Jay, right? It was Jay, the guy, people ban out the X-Borg for. But this time around, we are back here, and it's going to be Rhea who's going to play the hero that has been the signature pick for ABM's Jay for a long time.
Definitely, and we will see how well he will be able to execute it with that X-Borg, but this is more of a comfort pick instead of a meta. So she has decided to go out with a utility kind of a jungler, but X-Borg, he will be quite mobile, like he will be quite squishy onto the early phases of the game, unless he gets some defense item like the Brute Force or maybe something else like the Oracle. He will be, relying onto his itemizations in order to be tanking more damage, as well as being more contributing onto those team fights.
Yeah, definitely right. Matilda is so useful, the utility that she provides. But now we're heading into the first game. It's going to be Lafu, Kabi going up against Underdogs Rise. Both of these teams under the franchise of Megatron, as we all know. And with that, it's going to be the first time ever that, both the lineups of the male and female from a single franchise playing against each other in a tournament. And it's going to be really interesting to see which one will win out the first match.
Yes, indeed. They are just focusing on to their neutral objectives, and this is going to be the best of three. So even if one of the team falls short, they will be having a second chance onto the. But still, it will be a battle for 1 point. So it will be quite contributing. But okay, Nico. Okay. Noor was trying to initiate onto Riha quite early on, and they are trying to invade the jungle apparently.
Yeah, but it seems like Rhea will be safe for now, as this Fanny has decided to back off. But I feel like they could have went for the aggression, right? But it seems like they don't want to take any risk, because we know that Noor is not, he's not a jungler, basically. He's actually the roamer, right? So it's really interesting to see that Biddy is actually playing the goal lane, and on the other side is going to be Noor who is playing the jungle.
Yes, indeed. And okay, for now, they are just, the gold lead is quite equal as well. And they will be waiting it out for the next turtle, taking their objectives as soon as possible, trying to get that level 4 so that the next turtle fight comes up. They will be able to initiate more on with their ultimates, as well as those playmakers coming up. But okay, Ruby, she should be a bit aware of her positioning, the wall coming up from that Badang.
Yep, and it seems like there will be the Jeet Kundo coming up. Flicker forced out of the Badang here. Neko very, very low. Noor does not connect the cables. And they will be missing out on that kill. Oh, on the other side though. Look at that. Bid just went down.
BD just went down, and that will be actually a lot of hits for that Irithel on that gold tower. So definitely, they are having quite an advantage, because that is the goal lane of getting taken down quite early. So Underdogs Rise, they will be having some quite of an advantage, and looks like the gold tower, like the gold will entirely go down.
Yep. Entire gold going into the hands of the Irithel, really going to trouble here. But oh, there comes the I'm offended onto Sara, and Sara will get taken down here. But let's see who gets the turtle. Retribution will definitely not be there, and Noor will be able to get the turtle quite easily. But on the other side, look at that, with the Chow, with the Jeet Kundo and the Way of Dragon. There goes 3 kills into the hands of Lafu Kabi.
3 kills as well as the turtle for their side. So, the loss they just incurred onto the gold lane tower, they definitely got their redemption quite early on. And looks like Layla, she will not be wasting any more time. She will be, getting that gold back. Like the Irithel, she was able to land some hits. Then exactly, Layla is doing the same job in here. And looks like another initiation might be coming up.
Yep, Noor, he does take everything from that initiation by Sara and will be now going in aggressively. Does not have enough energy to actually sustain. So might be deciding to go back right now. Yes, he decides to do that. And right now, if you take a look at the goal lead, right, it's still 1K. So even though there's a lot of kills in the hands of Lafu Kabi, they have still not been able to establish a significant goal
Oh,
lead. On the other side, though, there comes the way of Dragon. Flicker being forced out of Siza. Kaizen is still on the run, and look at that. There comes the Zushin with the lantern flare. As Siza will get taken down, but there Sarah will be able to get a consolation kill there. And the mid laners, both of them will fall down.
yep, and it will be a 1-for-1 trade, but still, Lafukabi, they are on a better position for now. Looks like Sarah will be that initial. Noor is trying to take down that. He doesn't have his immortality yet.
On the other side, look at that. Ria is really low. BD decides to flicker in, and Ria will get taken down. But look at that. On the other side, the Fanny will fall down as well as she was trapped by the wall of the Badang. Fist crack coming in handy. There comes the way of Dragon onto Sara. Does not have the Purify, and she will get bursted down by the Lela. But Kaizen will get that kill.
You know, it might be the miscommunication, or maybe the positioning might not be quite expected from the side of Team Underdogs. Right? They are getting quite taken off guard mostly, and the turtle like spawning this time, and looks like Team Underdogs Rise, they might not be able to contest it as well because they are nowhere out of a position unless they come up with a clutch play. There might Sarah once again trying to go in, but okay, she will be able to retreat, and looks like Fanny might come up with another initiation.
And look at that. There comes the way of Dragon, but Kaizen will pay the price. Lantern Flare, I'm offended, into the place where the Fanny wants to spam those cables, but does not have enough energy. Bid is coming in with the backup, but look at that. Siren gets 2, Siren gets 3, Siren can go for a 4 right now, but Neko will secure that one. Siren can still take the Maniac. Let's see if he does that. Oh, Sarah steals it away.
Okay, but still, it is a potential, unofficial wipeouts. Underdogs Rise, they are not they are actually the underdogs, but not the underground. But looks like Chow is trying to get those hits, a final hit onto that turtle, but still, Lafukapi are back onto the turtle scene.
Yep, and Noor is waiting in the bush, trying to get the retribution, right? Let's see if he's able to do so or not. Oh, misses out as there is the circling eagle onto the Fanny. Noor right now. Siren on the other hand is able to take a tower as well in the top side. Right now it seems like actually Underdogs Rise are the one dominating and dictating the pace.
Yes, indeed. And looks like Ruby was trying to initiate with that I am offended play, but it's not up to the position for them. They are trying to disengage. If another potential team fight comes up, looking at the goal lead, it might favor Team Underdogs Rise, but still the pickoffs kind of composition, it is definitely for the side of Team Lafu Kabi, so they need to be a bit more careful.
On the other side, though, look at that. Kirai might be getting caught here. A nice gang coming in from the side of Underdogs Rise. They have done very well so far. They were behind, but now they are in front. And they are taking the driver's seat, dictating the pace of the game. And not just that. I mean, look at it. In terms of items as well, they're very, very ahead. In terms of gold as well. Almost 2K right now.
Siren goes down. Oh, off-cam kill. Siren just went down. So definitely the gold laner going down like this, it might be a start of a comeback for the side of Team Lafukabi. If they are able to keep up with it, then maybe we might be seeing some different kind of scenario. But still, Erethel, she got a triple kill for herself previously. And if she is able to itemization as well, and the positioning might be okay.
Look at that. There comes the way of Dragon, and Caesar will get taken down. Sarah is left all alone to defend that mid lane. It seems like she should back off, and look at the damage from the Layla. And with that, Siori will get the kill. And now Noor wants to go in. Does not really connect those cables, right? He wants to back off, and yep, he does that.
Yes, indeed. And they are actually getting taken off position. Okay, Ruby, she might be, okay, she is able to sustain that damage, thankfully for now. And looks like Team Lafukabi, in terms of objective, they are still one tower behind. But Fanny looks like she is trying to initiate, but she is aware of the fact that Badang still has that wall, and she needs to be a bit more careful.
Oh, gets caught in that wall like you said, and Noor will get taken down. The fight is broken out. There comes the circling eagle, targeted onto the Zushin. The Zushin is still alive though, and look at the other side. Ruby getting chunked down by the Irithel. Irithel will be able to get a kill. On the other side, Neko with the Neko punch, and with that, the Neko punch will take down the Zushin. Neko punch. That was so. Yeah,
okay.
Punchy.
The turtle going for the side of Team Underdog Rise once again. And as I said, in terms of the goal lead and looking at the itemizations, the Irithel has already got two of her core items, the Hash Claws as well as the Windtalker, and looks like she will be going for the BOT or maybe the Sea Halberd for that healing reduction. Chow comes with the play.
Way of Dragon, but Neko will be able to survive this one. I'm offended, connected onto the Zo. Okay, Xbox still manages to escape. Neko comes in once again with the punch. And now we are seeing both the sides retreat, but it's so funny to say this, right? I mean, Neko is playing the Badang, and I mean, if the Badang does is punch, and we're saying Neko punch.
Yes, indeed. And the Jushin, she just got her roaming boots actually, and it will be providing some extra EXP or maybe the extra gold she needs in order to complete a full itemization of hers. And another initiation might be coming up really soon, but still, Underdogs Rise, they are able to keep up with the gold lead, and looks like they have a higher objective for now. The Way of the Dragon combo once again coming up.
Circling Eagle has been used as well, but there comes the Irithel with the heavy crossbow. Siza as well coming in, and with that, Siren gets one more. It's going to be two into the hands of Siren. On the other side, though, Megatron has been trying to, Lafu Kabi has been trying to push on the far side, but they were not able to do so. Ria coming in for defending. And now, look at that. Neko able to dig the tower down in the mid lane as well. Seems like Lafu Kabi are getting cornered right now.
Yep, and looks like the Lord is about to be spawning onto the next 15 seconds. And looking at the positioning, Team Underdogs Rise, they will be on a better position to be contesting as well as taking the Lord, unless Fanny comes up with a clutch play and takes down the Lord with the Retribution. And looking at the objectives to Underdogs Rise, they got a better map control because they have the 2 towers advantage. The Lord already being spawned. This will be the first Lord, not so tanky, but looks like another initiation might be coming up this time.
I'm offended. 4 members, I'm offended coming in, but it's still not enough because there was no follow-up for that Ruby. And with the 1 member which has been going down, okay, Noor though, look at Noor's positioning. Sarah is checking those bushes, but she does not realize still, but Noor is finally she gets caught there. And now they're going in for the Retribution. Noor still trying to, play its way with the cables, but no! Gets that Retribution. Ria will miss that out, but they will get that kill. But oh my god, that was so good from Noor.
As I said, unless Noor comes up with the clutch Retribution, we might be seeing some different kind of scenarios. The Lord has been taken down, but still Noor will end up losing his life. This will give them some time, it will buy out them some time, but still, if Underdogs Rise got it, then we would have been seeing some different scenarios coming up. But it is Team Lafu Kabi with that clutch play.
Yeah, definitely. We need to comment. We need to commend Noor for that play. But okay, right now, you can just look at that. Siza is dealing a ton amount of damage. We do need to take a look at the stacks that this Sicilian has right now to understand the reason why. And look at that, he's on 147 right now, about to reach that 150 mark. And once he hits that, right, he's gonna be able to deal much more. And look at that, Kaizen, 20% HP getting taken down. Ria, and now they're going in with the blasting in furnace, and with that, Ria might be going down there. Okay, the Kaizen might be going down there, and yes, he does. Killing spree for Ria. Now, Fanny coming into play. Cables being used here, but not enough to do. And with that, it's a double kill for the Xborg, as the teammates of Lafu Kabi are still far away from any place right now. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Lela, a lot of damage, but Siren able to out-sustain that. Now, Kirai will go down as well. 5 men. It's 4 men wiped out right now, but they don't have the minions.
4 for 0 treat. So, Underdogs Rise, they are fighting it out, but it won't be enough actually because, as you said, the minions are not there. So, lane syncing is really important at this point, and they were not able to do so. If they were able to do it, then maybe 1 or 2 towers would have been coming for the side, considering it was only 2 members from the side of Team Lafu Kabi standing, and it would be better for them if they wait out for the Lord. Noor is trying to clear those lanes, but he will be able to do so, and she will be able to, just go back safely.
Yep. For now, Underdogs Rise have been, 12-21, completely opposite, right? They have been able to dominate and dictate the pace, and now they're actually taking complete control. They are in the driver's seat. They know that all they have to do now is just sit back and wait for the next Lord. They don't want to throw it away. They don't want to give away this lead that they've established. It's almost 7k right now. And the fact that they have a Sicilian and a Irithel, it's so much better for the late game for them.
Yep, and the Lord will be
Oh.
spawning. Okay, another initiation.
Way of Dragon
Gets it.
Kaizen. Wrong decision, and Caesar will be able to get that kill. On the other side, look at the Fanny. Buying so much time. But for what? She's walking right into the trap. But he does use the cables once again to get away from harm. But this is going to be the enhanced lord. Right now, they know that Noor will be very sneaky again, right? So they are waiting for Noor to actually mess up. They're trying to zone him away.
One key objective in order to take Noor down, Badang definitely needs to connect that wall onto the Fanny as soon as that might be the case. That can be the one condition they would be stopping that Fanny. Okay, Noor coming up once again.
Oh, this time though, she will not be able to get that. Ria gets the retribution right finally when it matters. Okay, on the other side though, look at that bit. He is taking down the towers, but it seems like he will not be able to get away. Oh, flicker! But is it enough? Because the Sicilian is also dealing a ton amount of damage, and Bit will get taken down. That flicker though, oh my god, that was so on point. Very nice reflexes.
It kind of gave Kelra kind of deja vu, but unfortunately enough, the Layla was taken down, and looks like the Lord it is spawning from the mid side, and the lane sinking is not up to the point, but still they will be able to get at least one inhibitor tower or two inhibitor towers with them, and if they are coming up with those trades, then maybe it might be a potential wipeout, and the game might also go out for the side of Team Underdog, right? But then initiation coming up.
Oh, look at the Fanny. Kaizen really low, and Noor will be able to come. Sorry, Siren will be able to get that kill. Now, Lord marching down the mid lane. They do not want to take it away. Oh my god, they are not able to defend it. And the first match will be going into the hands of Underdogs Rise.
Underdogs, but definitely not the Underground. They are here for a fight, and they will be taking the game number one. So, I'm kind of glad we are not seeing that one-sided kind of a competition. And we were expecting, a good kind of a matchup coming up from this women team as well. And they are able to keep up with that team. Will they be able to do so onto the second game? That will be a question, definitely, Fred.
Oh my god, I'm really starting to wonder if Lafu, Kabi, do they have their minds right at the moment? I mean, you don't want to give away a jungler, to the roamer, right? I mean, Noor is usually the roamer, and we see Bid, who is the jungler playing the Layla. On the other side, though, the goal laner was playing the roam. I mean, Lafu, Kabi, I don't really understand what they were thinking coming into this game, but even though we know that they are better as a team this time around, Underdogs Rise have been able to prove themselves worthy as well with this win, right? The first win. You need that, you need that confidence booster, right?
Yes, indeed. And they definitely got the confidence. If they are able to keep it up, then maybe onto the second game, we might be seeing an upset that we are not expecting it. But still, we might be seeing an upset, and Team Underdogs Rise might come up with a complete wipeout. But maybe Team Lafu Kabi, they will be fighting it onto the second game. We will be waiting for it actually. So we will be back with the second game as soon as possible. Till then, stay tuned.
Yup. We can just continue, right? I mean, we can jump right back into the match once again, when we once know it's ready. But for now, we can just take, talk about the draft so far. I mean, do you think Lafu Kabi was actually, just, not stepping on the gas yet? They were just cooling down a little bit. Do you feel like they could have done much better here, Itami? I feel like Lafu Kabi did not really play to their best potential, right? But I think they're keeping their gas ready for the next game, I guess.
They might be hiding out their strategy because, as you said, the picks, they were kind of weird from the side of Team Lafu Kabi because we were expecting the Chow, it is valid, but the Ruby, we don't see it often, and it looked like more like a signature kind of heroes instead of the meta kind of heroes. And Team Underdog Sides, they completely went out with that meta, and it exactly worked out for their side too. That Layla, as I said, it is not as dominating as she was before. She was able to get those towers as well as the damage was coming up, but the mobility was definitely not there at all. So if Team Lafu Kabi, they come up with a standard kind of a draft like we see onto the other tournaments, then they might be coming up with a reverse sweep actually, Fredo.
Yep, they can definitely go for the reverse sweep because we all know what they're capable of. And with that being said, we can jump right into the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's going to be the second match between the two teams of Megatron. it's Underdogs Rise versus Lafu Kabi, the male lineup going up against the female lineup. The first match is won by the female lineup unexpectedly, crushing all the expectations. Lafu Kabi. We saw Kenzie, who usually is in the goal lane, playing that show, trying to flex that Iori Yagami skin, but instead got flexed himself. But right now, once again, I mean, honestly, it was actually a very good match so far. But I do feel like Lafu Kabi have still not shown their true potential. They still are hiding it in the dark for the next match.
It actually can be the case. And, Team Lafu Kabi, as I said, if the draft is kind of different this time, if it is kind of advanced, and if they actually pull up like they pull up onto the other tournaments, then definitely we might be seeing some domination coming up from the side of Team Lafu Kabi this time. So Underdogs Rise, they need to be, a bit more careful, because at the end of the day, it is going to be Team Lafu Kabi they are going against. And this lineup, they are quite comfortable with each other. And Underdogs Rise, they are going with that lineup changes as well as the rules changes. So the synergy might not be that up to the point compared to Team Lafu Kabi.
That is something that you mentioned, right? I mean, the synergy might not be there because we know that Sara is usually the goal laner. I mean, it's not like she's not a roamer. She's also a roamer, but she's a goal laner first, and that is exactly why in this matchup they might be having some synergy issues. But honestly, I feel like Underdogs Rise are still a good enough team because of which they might be able to still make it work for themselves. On the other side, though, what I'm really curious to see is that if Megatron Lafu has what it takes to win this match once again. Of course, they're one game behind, but they're a team which has the potential to make a comeback.
Yep, and this time Team Underdogs Rise, they have decided to go out with the targeting the gold lane specifically. So Siren, she might be having some hard time against a Harith. So they are going with that advanced kind of a bans, at least for now. And the Suyo as well as the Jushin and the Badang getting banned out from the side of team. So Underdogs Rise, we did see that Badang getting picked up onto the previous game. So this time they are not dealing with those walls coming.
Yep, they are not dealing with those walls, and with that we'll be missing, once in a lifetime is the opportunity when you see someone called Neko playing the Badang and you're able to say Neko punch on the screen. But that, at least I'll have that luck on my side because I was able to cast such a game. But in this match, we'll not be seeing Neko playing the Badang. I won't be able to say Neko punch anymore. But we'll miss that. I'll miss that game where I was able to say I'll remember this game probably. But for now, we're looking at Julian ban. Okay, we don't really see this often, right?
Julian after that Rose Gold adjustment, he has been quite rising up on the rank as well as the scene actually. So Julian, he is quite dominating with the Rose Gold. As soon as he gets the Feather of Heaven, he goes with the Rose Gold and he is able to sustain so much damage onto that team fights as well as get those kill traits. So I would say Julian is good pick. They have decided to ban it out. And Team Underdog Rise, they will be responding with the flex pick that is going to be that Hylos.
Okay. This time, Neko not with the punch, but with the glorious pathway. And Kaizen is back on his main role. Last time we saw Underdogs Rise banning out the Granger, but this time they will leave it open and Kaizen will not shy away from picking it up. But this time around, do you feel like Sara is going to play the goal lane or will we see Siren once again?
I genuinely feel it is going to be Sara again on the road. And Siren, she can go out with the Irithel as a marksman because Irithel's burst damage can be countering out Granger quite often, but if Granger gets farmed up, we will be seeing some opposite kind of a scenario. At the end of the day, it is and if the Granger gets farmed up, we do know how dominating he is. We have already seen it onto the tournaments. He has already got 2 Savages from 2 games actually from different teams. And we did see the Savage from the Granger onto the previous game too. So we do know how dominating that Granger is. And to the response onto that Granger, the Lolita is getting picked out. That, the Rhapsody is going to get completely deflected by that Lolita shield.
Yep, and it's going to enable, it's going to buy you time, right? It's going to buy you time because once you have that shield up in front of you, you don't want to shoot those bullets because they'll be bouncing back on you. And that is exactly why Sarah here picking up one of our main heroes actually. We know that Sarah is actually a Lolita main and she's going with that main pick. So right now, comfort hero at its best right now. Sarah is able to unleash her full potential. On the other side though, Caesar as well able to take up that Sicilian once again. We did see perform quite well in the first match, but this time around, it seems like the side of Lafu Kabi have decided to go for an alpha jungle because we know high loss Lolita Sicilian. I mean, so much healing, so much HP. You won that. You won that alpha.
Definitely, and Alpha with that true damage, he will. So Alpha is definitely a good pick. And onto the MPL scene, Fredo, we are seeing that Zohan pick getting quite rising up onto the roam scene. So, mostly we would have seen Alpha getting combined with the support with a Matilda or maybe a Florin. It would have been that scenario, but this time they have decided to go out with a Jawhead. So those ejector plays coming up, it is definitely going to be quite crucial. And as I mentioned, Siren, she could have been going out with the Irithel in order to counter that Ranger onto the lane, but apparently Team Lafu Kabi, they are aware of it and they have decided to ban out the Irithel.
Yep. They have decided to ban out the Irithel here. They understood the concern that Kaizen might have in the goal lane. We did see Siren perform quite well. I mean, she was the MVP in the first game. That just speaks for itself that she has the prowess that is required on that Irithel, and that is exactly why Kaizen will be telling his teammates, come on man, ban the Irithel. It got the MVP in the first game. You don't want me to deal with that.
Yep, and the Irithel, as I said, it would have been quite troubling, but still I do believe against that Granger, Beatrix can quite work out, but at the end of the day, it depends upon the comfort of the user as well. If she is not that comfortable, even if that hero is meta, it's not going. So it depends upon what Siren will be going. And I have casted for her onto the previous games. I have seen her Brody, and she could be going out with a Brody, but I completely forgot about that Melissa. Melissa, with the Rose Gold Meteors, she has been dominating the rank scenes as well as the.
Oh, yep. Melissa has been a very good pick. I mean, not just the pick, one of the most common bans these days, especially in Mythic rank, in Mythical Glory as well. And, very few, but, sometimes, occasionally, the lower immortal ranks as well, But this time around, oh, look at that, Eve.
Oh, real world manipulation coming up. But, okay. I just got so confused. I just saw a Eve jungle, it might not be happening, and apparently it is going to be a Lucas onto that EXP lane. Lucas can be going out onto the jungle too, but they have the Alpha for the side, so Alpha EXP, it is more of an epic kind of a competition. Let's be honest. So Lucas onto the EXP is more suitable.
Yep, Lucas onto the EXP is much better, right? But of course, Alpha is also one of the best junglers out there. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second match between Underdogs Rise and Lafu Kabi. The first match was won by Underdogs Rise, and Lafu Kabi are behind right now, trailing behind. And just to remind you all, this is a knockout round. So it's a best of 3 series. It's a knockout round. If you lose this one, you are going out and you are going home. So you don't want to be giving it up in the first round itself. Both the teams are going to give their best. These are the top teams from the region, and we expect to see the same. But will they rise up to the occasion? Because, I mean, Lafu Kabi has just been sitting back this entire time.
Yes, indeed. This is going to be the second game, and looks like Lafu Kabi, they are quite locked in looking at the draft as well. Firstly, they tried to experiment it out and it didn't work out, but onto the second game, the stakes are high. And if they actually end up losing this game, then most probably they will be out of the tournament scene.
Yep. They could be out of this tournament scene. They will definitely be out of it, right? But Lafu Kabi is Lafu Kabi. They do understand that they are good. I mean, they want to get things going early on. They want to see that early aggression. Kaizen is already on to taking those creeps down, getting those extra stacks everywhere he can. Noor got connected, and there comes a stun as well. But he's tanky enough to get away.
Yes, indeed. And for now, they are just focusing on to their neutral objectives. No trades has actually been traded out from both of the sides, and looks like they will be waiting it out unless one of the teams comes up with the next initiation.
Yeah, and it should definitely be the Jawhead here. Jawhead, look at that flicker ejector. No, okay, he decides to what? What was that?
Oh,
Why? He actually threw the Lolita away to safety.
uh,
I'm not understanding
yeah,
this.
it can be a misplay. Yeah, definitely a misplay. And looks like the turtle spawning onto the next few seconds. And looks like Riyadh, she went out with that Xbox jungle once again. But Lucas with that initiation.
Lucas able to take down the shield, and it's a two-man spear of alpha coming in from Biddy, but it's still not enough to take them down as Neko is still having enough HP. But look at that first blood going into the hands of Kirai.
Kirai gets the first blood, and Hylos gets taken. It would have been Hylos would have been a really good resource for the side of Team Dogs Rise in order to initiate for that fight. But he is out of the scene, but still Hylos will be able to follow up most probably. He doesn't have his glorious pathway, and looks like it will be an uncontested turtle for the side of Team Lafu.
Yep, they don't have the level 4 neither on the mid lane, neither on the roamer, right? So yeah, that is the reason why they have decided not to go for the turtle fight, and I think it's a wise decision.
Indeed. And okay, RWM play.
Oh my god. Flickers inside the RWM, but Cesar very, very low right now. Oh, Flicker coming in from the Yves once again. Yves will be able to get 2 kills, and she might be able to escape this, but it seems like the Melissa he got that vision. Kirai might be falling down here. She got the 2 kills, and it will be the roamer who will get the kill, unfortunately, but of course it's a kill for the team. I mean, it's not kills. I mean, it's not kill state. It's kill secured. And now, BD was going in with the Spear of Alpha, but Sarah is still tanky enough to not fall down.
Yep, and Sarah will be able to sustain the damage. Down. So, yeah.
On the other side, look at that. EXP versus EXP happening. It's going to be the Lucas, but look at that. Rhea arrived to the scene. The Lucas, the Beast might want to run away, but will the Beast run away? Yes, he does use the flicker at the right time. In the mid lane, though, it seems like Caesar has fallen down, getting caught out of position.
Positioning is one thing, and Underdogs Rise, the Sicilian, she came up with flicker misplay. So if that continues, then definitely Underdogs Rise, they might be not able to contribute more onto that team fights as they are expected to. But looks like another initiation might be coming real soon.
Oh, Sarah does use the hammers onto the Jawhead, but right now on the other side, though, it seems like the river flow is already there. And it is going towards the turtle. The turtle is up. It is going to be the second turtle of the game. And it seems like it might be another uncontested one because the X work is on the bottom side on that red buff area. And okay, they're planning to take a trade here, going in for the Granger.
Kaizen, but still she is trying to land some. As you said, Lafu Kabi once again, and look at Sarah trying to tank that damage, but initiation might be coming up. Kirai
weighing down there, and that was good stuff coming in from Lafu Kabi. I'm sorry, from Underdogs Rise, and with that, there goes the Sanguine Claws, not able to connect onto the Granger. Meanwhile, though, it seems like BD is not having any trouble, even though he's surrounded by 3 members. The side of Lafu Kabi are very, very comfortable, but right now he might be getting uncomfortable because he goes in with the Spear of Alpha, but he gets thrown away by the Ejector as well. But will he be able to survive? He does not, as Rhea will get that kill, and Kaizen landing his... Oh, okay, 2-man connection. They're coming in from Siren, and RWM setting in 4 members getting taught in all the midst of it all, and with that, Kirai will be able to get 1 kill. Kaizen takes 1 down as well. Siori is going in with that beast form, and Nico is the only one who is in the mid lane. They will not be able to defend it, as Lafu Kabi will be able to get that first, inhibitor. Sorry. Mid lane tier 1.
Yep, and that RWM play was so up to the point, it connected onto 3 people. They were able to find 3 of the 3 trades. Lafu Kabi, they got that opening they wanted. and Underdogs Rise, they are nowhere near to be actually finding an opening this time. So it is going out quite tough for them, and looks like the Granger, he will be able to secure that tower, the bot lane tower as well.
Yep. Oh, conceal play coming in. Sarah might be getting caught out of position here. Takes a lot of damage. Uses the shield. Numenon Blast is still there, but she will not be using it, as it will be a waste. And Kaizen will get that kill. Ria is still there. Just, connect that firing missiles, but still not enough, it seems, as Ria, oh my god, she's still chunking down that Granger, but Granger was able to burst away that shield. But right now, Ria is really low and out of position as well. Siren might not be able to make enough use of it as the Alpha comes in from the backlines. But there comes the ultimate of the Melissa to protect, but Caesar will still get caught in that RWM. But they will be able to defend that bottom lane. Oh my god, Sarah goes in very aggressively, flickers out as well.
Team Underdogs Rise, they are not able to find that opening right now, and they are definitely struggling. So Lafu Kabi, compared to the previous game, they are quite locked in, and looks like the draft is quite favorable for them this time too. And looks like it might be an uncontested turtle once again, or maybe, okay, they have decided to contest it. I did thought that they might be going out for that 8-minute Lord, but apparently that won't be the case.
Yep, they did not go for the 8-minute Lord. They actually take the turtle down. I mean, with the advantage that you have, you want to go for the Lord, right? You want to go for the turtle. But it seems like, okay, Biddy is getting ejected by the... I mean, I don't understand why the Jawhead, he has always been ejecting the Granger. Okay, see, actually the Alpha right now who goes in. Wrong initiation, as Siren will be able to get one kill. But on the other side, look at that. The Halo still able to sustain a lot of it. But flash combo coming in from the Lucas, and Siren will get taken down as well, as the Rhapsody will connect. And another one landing on the face of the Sicilian, and Caesar will get taken down. Kaisen will be able to get 3 kills in that. And with that, on the other side, look at that. Ria might be trying to recall, but it seems like she understands that it's not the best idea. So she decides to actually get away. But the Lucas is chasing him down. The Jawhead is going in as well. They're trying to sandwich this X-Borg. And five members in the middle of it all. And the X-Borg will not be able to... Okay, still survives. But Kaizen with that final blow of Rhapsody on his face.
This is why Granger is so much dominating even now, and looks like the not stopped yet.
Oh, it has not stopped yet, as the glorious pathway will be used. But there is still a minion wave marching down there, but they will shift their attention. It seems like they will shift their attention towards some of their plays. They're trying to zone them out. Kirai has been done. He has done a phenomenal job on this Eve so far. And right now, oh my god, the damage coming in from this Melissa. That's the reason why he's banned in the ranked games. And with that, there comes a Sanguine Clause as well. RWM has set in. They are out of the position though, but here comes Biddy from the backlines with the Spear of Alpha, able to get 2 members. Might be getting a third one. It's a double kill for Biddy, as he will be wrecking havoc for Underdogs with that Spear.
Yes, indeed, and looks like the Lord has spawned, and it is definitely an uncontested Lord side of Lafu Kabi. They are dominating
every
the scene.
object, right?
Yep, and
every objective has been uncontested so far.
Definitely, and they have the 3 towers as well as the goal lead almost over 10k. So I don't even think that Underdogs Rise, they will be risking out onto that Lord, and it will be an easy Lord for the side of team Lafu Kabi. So it all depends upon the initiation this time, and if they come up with a misplay, if team Lafu Kabi comes up with a misplay, then only team Underdogs Rise might be able to stand it out.
Yeah, that is the only chance that they have right now. But you do have the Sicilian, and as we take a look at our Sicilian, look at the stacks, and yep, W streamer for that, showing us the Sicilian stacks at the right time, just as we mentioned it. 116 though, it's very low for 10 minutes, right? And the reason is the Eve was able to zone that Sicilian out all the time from that mid lane, denying him of the farm, and that is exactly why it's only the glowing wand on that Sicilian right now.
Indeed, and the itemization is way far behind, and looks like the Lord. Look at the lane sync. Actually, it's quite up to the point, except for the top tower. But okay, Sicilian gets taken down, and looks like that will be a godlike as well as 2 trades.
face full of Rhapsody, and with that RWM setting in, the Infinity Blast has been used as well, but into the backlines, look at that, RWM is still not enough, as Kaizen will be able to get him all. Spear of Alpha has been used as well, and this time it will actually be Lafu Kabi dominating and winning it in the fashion that they always do.
Yep. And Lafukabi, they are back, and this is going to be like the third game is going to be the match point for both of the sides. The tiebreaker, Kabi, with a dominant fashion, will be taking that game. And yep, Ranger, as expected, is going to be that MVP for this game. Kaizen takes the MVP, and Team Underdogs rise. I do believe to both of the drafts, it was quite advanced, but execution-wise, Lafukabi was way far ahead.
Yep, and look at that. Kaizen is on his main hero. In the last match, Underdogs Rise, they banned out the Granger, but this time they leave it open, and that is what happens. That is what happens when you leave the Granger open for Kaizen. He picks it up and he carries it, face full of Rhapsody, and Death Sonata as well. So yeah, with that, they end this game here. Kaizen, the MVP, Siori, and Kirai was also so good, right? The Eve is a controlling mage, and the way he played it, Caesar was completely under Kirai's manipulation and control.
Yep, and the game 3 will be extended, and Team Underdogs, they need to find that opening, they need to repeat what happened out of the first game in order to take Lafukabi down. And looking at the domination, it is looking quite pretty tough for the side of Team Underdogs Rise. A lot of things are on stake, and it will be really, really tough actually, considering how dominant Lafukabi was onto this game, Fredo.
Yep, definitely. They need to, do a little bit more better this time around. And with that being said, third game, this time Underdogs, they need to play more better. You cannot stick with the Sicilian every single time. You reveal the way you played in the first game. If you do it once again in the second one, your plans might be caught. And that is exactly what happened with this Exborg and Sicilian pick. The Exborg was used in the first game. They understood what the potential that Ria has. They understood the potential that the Sicilian has as well, because they were able to zone out the Sicilian, not giving the Sicilian the farm that she wants. And that is exactly why the Sicilian was not able to farm up. The mid lane was not able to do enough in the match. Whereas on the other side, the Eve was just creating havoc for the side of Team Lafukabi. And that is exactly why you don't want to carry the same game plan in every single match. You want to mix and match, right? Because now, they realize that, Siren is very good on that Irithel as well. So they ban out the Irithel. They give the Granger away. They get the Irithel banned out. There was so much that Underdogs Rise could have done in the draft, but they did not do. And clearly it was actually the draft that favored them, and they were able to take that match.
I do agree. And draft wise, for that Granger, Lolita was there, but Lolita was not enough because she was not able to tank that much damage. And Jawhead, with those ejector plays, he was able to throw out that Lolita out of the scene. And as soon as the Lolita was taken down, they completely went all in, and they were able to find those trades. So Lolita is not working out against a Jawhead. We did remember that, and we are back on to the third game. This is going to be, a lot of things are going to be onto the stakes, and looks like the draft has already begun, and the Badang as well as Harith getting banned out from both of the sides. Quite some similar kind of a draft we are seeing from the second game, Fredo.
Yeah, once again, we'll not be able to say Neko Punch. I don't understand what is Lafukabi's problem here. I want to say Neko Punch, but I will not be able to say it once again, as Lafukabi will be banning out the Badang. And with that, another hero that Neko picked up in the second game, it is going to be the Hylos. Why are they targeting Neko here? Has Neko done a crime?
Yep. Neko, maybe he would have done a crime, but the Hylos getting banned out, as well as the CC to EXP, like priority EXP is getting banned out, and actually it's two flex pick getting banned out from the side of Team Lafukabi, and the gold lane as well as the EXP lane from the side of Team Underdogs Rise. So if they are, if they have a proper kind of a strategy, like the Granger once again is open, and if you are going out with the Irithel this time, then maybe it might work out, but don't save the Irithel for the second phases, because they saved out for the second phases, and the Irithel gets banned out. That was definitely expected. So that kind of a mistake might not be coming up.
Oh,
They won't be relying
yep,
on to that. They will just be banning out the Granger, as they should, considering
yep.
how dominating he was onto the second game.
Yep, and if you ban out the Granger, what will Kaizen be picking up here? Let's guess. And okay, they will be saving Kaizen for later, as Kirai will take another controlling mage in his hands. It will be the Zushin, which was banned last time around by Underdog's Rise, but this time it will be open and it will be picked up here. On the other side, Sarah has chosen to go for the Jawhead. Ejector plays coming in once again. This time, not from Noor, though it will be from Sarah. Seems like Sarah wants to give Noor a lesson on how to use those ejectors. And with that, Ria switching up the play here. No more X-Borg. The Suyo is on the battlefield now.
Suyo is getting picked out, and we did see Suyo getting banned out of his games. And said Fredo, onto the
Okay.
second game, you did
Yep.
ask like Julian getting banned out, and this is one of the reasons why Julian is a priority because of those gold meteor. Unless that item doesn't get nerfed out, Julian will be onto the tournament scenes as well as onto the rank scenes, as onto the jungler position. But Kaizen, he will be going out with another comfort pick of his, that is going to be that most.
Yep. And with that being said, look at that. There comes the Moskov. I mean, Kaizen likes to play the Moskov as well. So right now, the Moskov is going to go up against who? Let's see. Will Siren be picking up the Irithel once again? Because he did perform quite well in his hands. But in the last match, though, Siren not able to do enough. In this match, let's see what Siren decides to go for. Does he want to go for Irithel once again? Or does he want to switch up what he did in the last match? And with that, Siren, my prediction, Irithel once again. Siren, MVP of the first match, picks up the Irithel once again. Seems like Siren wants to carry this game.
Yes, indeed. And Siren, with that Irithel, she is quite comfortable with it. We did see it already on the first game. And onto the second phases of the ban, we might be seeing a Roma as well as, okay, they have, Underdog's Eyes, they are aware that the Roma is yet to be picked out. And the team Lafu Kabi, they like to go out with the utility kind of a jungler combined with a support. So they have decided to ban out one of the most dominating supports, that is the Matilda. And they may be, Lafu Kabi, they might be respecting, or maybe not. They are respecting that Sicilian. The two games it was picked out, and it worked out onto the first, and it didn't onto the second. So they are not dealing with it definitely, because at the end of the day, Sicilian is a late game insurance, and if he is able to farm it out and get his core items, no matter what, he will be able to dish out a lot of damage.
Yeah. Sicilian is always a threat in the later phases of the match, and we saw that Siza is really comfortable on that hero, right? Picking it up, 2 games straight back to back, and that is exactly the reason why Lafu Kabi have understood the potential pick that might be coming in. The Irithel Sicilian combo was able to perform quite well in the first match. It might be doing the same once again, and they decide not to take any risk, banning out 2 mages that Kirai might be having trouble against. But with that, right now they have the option to go for the. Okay, they are clever. They're clever. Underdogs Rise. They do not go in for the Yiv directly. They pick up the Katot Kacha first because they know that if they pick up the Yiv, there might be a Katot Kacha coming in from the other side. So they make sure that the Yiv will not have any problems. And with that, they pick up the Katot Kacha. But right now, Lafu Kabi already has the mage. They cannot pick up the Yiv. What do they do if they decide to go for the Yiv? Because the Moscow will have a lot of trouble going up against the real one manipulation.
Indeed, we did see it onto the early, on game, and the Yves, she was dominating the early phase. Yves can definitely be one of the picks, but they might not be going it out because comfort-wise, it might not be quite favorable for the side of team Underdogs. Right? Lafu Kabi, they will be actually going out with a Kufra combined with that edit. So they are, kind of repeating the first. Oh my God, Fredo. Predictions are up to the stake, and we are definitely seeing Leaf coming up. And against that tanky composition, it might actually quite work out.
Yup, I mean, it's going to slow them down quite a lot. And if you slow them down, then the Irithel will have a good time, landing those arrows, crossbows that you call, on them. And with that being said, the draft is complete. Noor has went for the Kufra, not something that we see quite often these days in this meta. And we all know the Kufra is a hero that gets heavily countered by the Joy, especially because it has the bouncing ball. Once it comes in with the bouncing ball, the ball will be thrown like a shot put in the sky by this Jawhead. And Sarah, of course, she has strong arms. She can do that quite easily. Of course, Noor will be having some trouble going up against this Joy. He has to be really careful before he jumps in. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I welcome you all back to the third match between the Megatron versus Megatron. It's a female lineup, underdogs, going up against the male lineup, Lafu Kabi. Both of these under the Megatron franchise. Will we be seeing the female lineup who won that first match in a lot of style, take this third match once again, or will Lafu Kabi show their dominance?
Indeed, and if you ask me regarding the draft, their composition, both of the drafts is actually, reliant more onto that early game. They have the Julian for the side of Team Underdogs Rise, and for the side of Team Lafu Kabi, they have the Suyo. So early game junglers are there, but for the late game, other heroes are there. So it depends upon the execution too, and how well that Moskov as well as the Irithel is going to be farming out.
Definitely the Irithel, right? The Irithel, it was the MVP. We cannot forget that. We have to always take it respect. But on the other side, Kirai, Purify to save the day. But it seemed like Ria was going. Ria almost there. Almost there. Silver of HP.
So close yet so far. And Ria was not able to get that. And she will be, he will be able to. He should be waiting it out in order to get his first blood. But another initiative might be coming up from Sarah.
That is what happens. That is what happens when you play a Kufra against the Jawhead. When you use the bouncing ball, you'll get thrown like the ball that you are.
Yes, indeed. And the turtle is yet to be spawned from both sides. The first blood is yet to be drawn. So, Treto, scenario compared to the second game, because we did see that aggression coming up from the side of Team Lafu Kabi. It was able to play it out. The aggression is there, but Team Underdogs Rise, they are aware of it. So they are making sure they are not overextending any team fights as of now.
Yep, as of now. But look at that once again. There comes the ejector. Sarah, though, might be getting caught here. But look at that. RWM, not RWM. It was actually the Lantern Flare, and Lantern Flare will be able to catch Siza off guard. Siza's positioning has been off, and they need to be careful about it right now, though. It seems like it's only Sarah and Ria in the turtle pit up against two members, Kirai and Noor. Kirai is actually doing a lot of damage with those lantern flares. Ria is able to get away. Noor comes in, Neko comes in with the AOG. And look at that, Kirai getting caught there in the midst of it all. Does not really have the Purify. Ejector, actually, she has the Purify and will be able to use it at the right time. But will there be a retribution battle? No, Ria does not take making that. Okay, there comes. Siori is really low. Neko taking a lot of damage. Biddy will be able to get that kill. And Biddy is still chasing down Sarah. Sarah uses the ejector at the right time to get away with the help of that movement speed. But Siza has been the problem here. Siza is the problem here for them. Siza once again.
Siza, she should be a bit more aware of her positioning, and if it continues, Sarah comes up with that initiation, but that immune from that Julian will be able to save him for now. And Lafu Kabi, Biddy.
Noor charging in. Noor charging in does not really commit yet. On the other side, though, we can definitely take a look at this bottom side as Sarah is approaching. Kaizen is aware, uses the dodge emoji, toing, toing. But Ria was aware of that. Kaizen really low. Flicker as well. Sarah not able to get that. There comes the.
Oh my god.
Kaizen, the god on that Moskov on the other side. There comes the lantern flare. His eyes really low, and Irithel will be picked up and thrown away. Siren might be getting taken down here. Yes, he does. Noor will be falling down. Biddy versus Ria. Biddy wins out because he has the lifesteal, and Ria might be getting taken down here as well, but does not go down yet. Siori uses the Earth Shatter. And with that, Ria still able to get away. But there comes the AOG into the backlines. And with that, it will be Siori getting caught. But they were able to escape. But, they are focusing heavily right now on Lafu Kabi onto the goal lane.
The fact that Lafu Kabi, they are able to bait out a lot of ultimates. The ejector Jawhead, as well as the AOTG being gone out, and Team Underdogs Rise, they were not able to capitalize it with that at all. And looks like Sarah might be taken down this time.
Yep, Sarah with the flicker ejector, and with that, Shiori might be getting taken down here. Yes, it does, as Siren was able to get that one, and with that, it seems like Biddy wants to go in for more. Kirai comes in with the Lantern Flare once again, and Crimson Beacon has been used as well. And with that, Siren might be getting caught here as he commits way too much, and Siren will get taken down. Lafu Kabi dominating Biddy with the double kill as they take the. Okay, actually, it seems like Megatron Underdog Rise have been able to take that turtle as the consolation prize, but the goal lane is definitely in the favor of Lafu Kabi right now.
Definitely. And onto the team fights, Team Underdogs Rise, they are not able to find that opening as they were expected. And looking at Kaizen Fredo, I would like to that clutch play. Sarah went out with that ejector and she was not able to find that trade. It's like another initiation might be.
Sarah is really low, and Biddy will be able to get it, and AOG connecting only onto Kaizen, RWM setting in as well. But just to zone them out, it will not be enough to take anyone down. It is used defensively as Underdogs Rise are 4k goal behind at the 6-minute mark.
Yes, indeed. And it is completely one-sided for the side of Team Lafu Kabi and Underdogs Rise. They are not able to find that opening that they were expected to. And a complete kind of a domination, at least for now, is coming up. But looks like Shiori might be able to defend that tower. And Noor might be coming up with that Kufra jump. And okay, he won't
he does. And
to anybody. But okay, Siren, she will be forced out to use it.
Fury actually uses the flicker. Sarah also uses it as well as they want to go in heavily with the Crimson Beacon. Sarah might be getting caught here. Knock up coming in. And with that, Siren will fall down as well. And right now they're going in heavily for the Yif. And SZA will get taken down. Everyone falling down left and right. Ria and Neko, the only ones left on the battlefield. Biddy is actually doing a lot of damage and sustaining out every single thing that is being thrown at him. Neko really low. Neko will get taken down. Biddy's inside the base. But with that, there comes the overextension, and that will pay the price. Biddy is getting shut down by Siren, as Siren will get a lot of goal out of that. On the other side,
It's revenge.
Yeah, Tyrant's Revenge, but SZA, not really. There was no follow-up for that Kufra's initiation. And but there is the SOD, and Kaizen actually teleports, but they still were not able to do anything, even with that. Sarah did not really have the unstoppable force. Kaizen though, okay, seems like Ria will be able to get, Kaizen does have, he does have, but Ria might be able to take him down. 1v1. Kaizen will fall down. Ria gets on top of Kaizen, but Biddy is about to chase her. Okay, the ice retribution on the other. Okay, Underdogs Rise are back in the game.
Overextension is coming off from the side of Team Lafu Kabi, and if they end up throwing it like that with that. If they end up throwing with the discipline plays like they were coming up onto the early game phases, then it might work out for the side. It might be an uncontested turtle for the side.
Yup, and we all remember, right? It's Siren, the one who got that MVP in the first game. Even though she has not been performing that well, she's on. Okay, there comes the flicker ejector, but Noor will be able to get away with that flicker. 2 resources burned from the side of Team Underdogs Rise. But like I was saying, Itami, we cannot forget that Siren was the MVP, right? She might not have performed the best so far, but with an Irrital, you still have the possibility of making a comeback, especially when the enemy, goal laner is actually Moskov.
Yes, and for the side of Team Lafu Kabi, the hyper carry is the Julian, like the jungler. Once again, Kaizen. Ria is trying to initiate onto Kaizen most probably, but it is actually not connecting up to the point, and Moskov mobility is way too high because of the first skill. Like the dash is already there, and he can come up with a clutch play like he did before onto the bot tower. So he needs to, Ria needs to be a bit aware of that as well.
Ria needs to be completely aware that the Kaizen has a lot of ways to escape, but Sarah will get caught in the Tyrant's Revenge, does not have enough as the AOG is committed as well, and Neko coming in with the initiation. There is no follow-up yet as Shiori is able to zone them away. SZA is really low. SZA will get taken down as well as 3 members fall from the side of Underdogs Rise, and Lafu Kabi are back in the game once again.
Indeed, and the Lord is about to be spawning, and looks like Lafu Kabi, they will be waiting find this. And
Yep.
looking at the tower advantage, it is definitely Lafu Kabi. They have the more of a map control, and looks like they will be going for that lost lord as soon as it arrives.
Yup, they can definitely go for the Lord right now because they have that advantage. They have the towers as well, and you can always look at that. They know. Look at Underdog's Rise. They send the jungler into to the far side to deal with those minion waves, as they will be trying to contest that Lord, trying to trouble them a little bit. As Ria will be trying to create a split push on the other side. But it should be an easy Lord here for Team Lafukabi, as Underdog's Rise are not planning to contest. They do okay. Moskov will be coming in and a 1v1. 1v1 and Kaizen will take that revenge elimination, right?
Indeed, 1v1. Previously, we saw Ria coming up on the top, and this time it will be Kaizen with that Moskov and the Lord going for the side of Team Lafukabi. So they should be waiting it out, or maybe Moskov will be going for that second tower, second tier 2 tower actually, and they won't be wasting any much time. And looks like the Lord, it will be spawning from the mid. The lane sync is not up to the point, but looks like Lafukabi, they will be waiting out for the next Lord in order to make a proper initiation.
It seems like they are waiting for the right time. Lane sync will definitely be there, but it is of course the first Lord, right? So I mean, if you look at the bottom side, the shield, the tower shield, the holy shield is still up. And with that, Lord marching down the mid lane, do Lafukabi want to commit everything, or do they want to give away an easy push right now? They're definitely pushing down the minions. And Kaizen, look at Noor in the back lines, and with the Neko will get taken down. And Kaizen not able to push enough, as they were able to defend this first one. At the sacrificial lamb will be Neko here, but they need to defend one more wave. Will they be able to do it? Noor is charging in once again. Kaizen will get that tower. It will actually be Biddy who does that, get that last hit. But on the top side, though, once again they're pushing it down. BD was able to get 2 on the bottom side. They're dealing with the waves, and they will definitely be able to do so. But they will lose 2 inhibitors in the process. Not the best game so far for Underdog's Rise. It seemed like Lafukabi just threw a little bit, but once again they have become focused.
They are just back onto the scene, and looks like the Lord, maybe they will be waiting out for the Lord, unless, oh my god, Moskov!
Once again, this guy, he has taken that 1v1 personally, right? I mean, Kaizen has been targeting Ria all the time. Unstoppable force. There comes the Wind of Nature as well, and Dev Sara has committed way too much, and Siren will fall down as well. The first game MVP is not able to carry it enough into the backlines. There comes Noor AOG coming in from Neko, but Kaizen has locked down the base as Lafukabi are going for the end. They wiped them all out. They locked down the base, and the game has been won here by Megatron X Lafukabi.
Lafukabi with that reverse sweep, as well as taking the series against Underdog Rise. So, as they were the favorites for this entire series, but team, we gotta give it out for the side of Team Mega Underdogs Rise too, because they came up with the fights onto the first game. We did expect it might be a clean sweep, but Lafukabi, they had different plans. They decided to lock in, and they decided to take both of the teams, like both of the games, and turn it out onto a complete reverse sweep.
Yeah, but complete reverse sweep coming in, right? I mean, from their side, and BD will be the MVP this time around. And Kaizen, I mean, that Kaizen versus Ria there. And that was really cool, especially the first one where Ria actually won it. And after that, Kaizen took it way too personally. He was going in for the 1v1s every single time he got that opportunity, especially with Ria. And Kaizen versus Ria. Ria won the first, but Kaizen won the last. And it will be actually Lafukabi as well, who will win it all in the end in this best of 3 series. But of course, I mean, the girls' team are actually pretty good as well. I mean, the first match, that was completely unexpected.
Indeed, and we gotta accept the fact that underdogs, they are the underdogs, but still they are not the underground. So they were able to pull it up onto the first game, but second as well as the third game, Lafukabi decided to lock in, and they decided to focus more onto their draft too, and it worked out for the side, and that was what actually they were expecting as well. So Lafukabi, they will be the ones victorious, and they will be going on for the next stages.
Yep, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, because we will be coming in very shortly for the lucky draws. So for the draws of the first, first round robin, because the round two will be starting really soon. We have all the top 8 teams selected, and we'll be starting the draw quite soon, right? I mean, it will be me, Fredo, hosting once again for the draw, and we'll be back very shortly. But of course, the top 8 are selected. If you want to watch the draws live, then bring your friends as well. Let's see if it's going to be once again. Is it going to be Step Bros, facing against Zohan or something like that? You want those kind of stuff to be happening. We want those kind of stuff to be happening, and that is exactly why you don't want to miss it out. You don't want to miss out these live draws. It will be happening very soon in less than a few minutes. And with that, come back fast, guys.
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardroom Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
guys, is the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP, because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardroom Games. So do follow them, and yeah, see you in the tournament, and I will be casting too.
A giant tail above the waves.
क्या है रे, तूने नया वाला ओवरले नहीं लगाया क्या? Hello everyone, we are going in for the lucky draws for the next round. Round robin will be starting from Tuesday, and if you don't want to miss it, you want to subscribe to this channel, because it's only going to be the top 8 teams remaining right now, and it's going to be a round robin. It definitely means that, basically means that all the teams will be playing against all the teams. So it's not going to be one team versus one team via lucky draw. It's going to be a round robin. So every team is going to face each other. There's going to be equal chances for everyone to make a comeback. There's going to be equal chances for everyone to take away the victory. And with that, it's going to be a long run, right? It's going to be a marathon. It's not like a short race where you sprint and it's over. It's not 100 meters. It's going to be a marathon. So yeah, that's what comes out in the in a round robin. And with that, we can start putting the names one by one to see which teams will be facing each other. Damn, bro. Viewers fell off. I mean, like 4 watching right now. Let's go, let's go. It's climbing up once again. हाँ 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 ठीक है बोल दूंगा मैं Let's go, guys. Let's go. There is going to be lucky draw right now. If you guys want to witness the lucky draws, then you can come right now. We're going to do the lucky draw. Of course, it's not a lucky draw for giveaway or something. It's going to be the teams matching up against each other. We want to maintain fairness. That is the reason why we're going to do the live stream. We're going to do it away on the live. So yeah, so that it's fair and fair, right? I mean, some people always complain that the teams have been matched up very unfairly. So yeah, we want it to be fair, and that is exactly why we want to do this right now. Every single day after every single live stream, because it's going to be the round robin, we're going to do the same thing again and again. Let's see which teams will face each other. I mean, of course, not everyone is interested in watching these lucky draws, but if you are interested, then let's go. We can go for the first spin right away. First spin, there we go. The first team which is going to be there facing in the first match. The first match is going to be Dads and Sons, the fan favorites. Wow. The fan favorites are going to be the first one coming out in this draw. Okay, Dads and Sons are going to face the next one, which will be coming up. Let's see who it will be. I mean, how many of you guys think it's going to be IGN? It might be IGN. Could be IGN. I want to see IGN actually. I want to see IGN versus Dads and Sons. It's going to be really interesting. But okay. Very strong team. Dads and Sons versus Eliminators. Wow, that's going to be great. That's going to be the best match so far, it seems. Best match. It is going to be the best match. So, Dads and Sons versus Eliminators. Very interesting match, the first one. Okay, let's go for the second one now. Nihal, note down karte ja. Let's go for the second one. Second one is going to be IGN. Peak to plummet. Okay, peak to plummet. Oh my god. Skyzen, the babyface killer, guys. The babyface killer. First savage of the tournament. Skyzen, guys. Skyzen is going to be playing. Okay, next one. Let's see. Who is Skyzen going to face here? Is it going to be IGN? The mighty IGN. Okay. It's not IGN. It's actually Megatron, Lafu Kabi. So Lafu Kabi versus it's going to be Lafu Kabi. Nice. Lafu Kabi versus Pick to Plummet. The second match. And with that, we have the third match. So I hope it's IGN versus Tartarus. That's going to be really interesting. I hope it's IGN versus Tartarus. Let's see what it is going to be. IGN versus Tartarus. IGN versus Tartarus. Yep. Tartarus. Okay. I almost thought it was going to be Zohan, but it's going to be Tartarus. Now the next one. IGN, guys. IGN. Okay. Spin kar diya. IGN. No. Zohan. Okay. Zohan versus Tartarus. One of the top teams in India right now at the moment, going up against Zohunt. So basically, Zohan under a lot of pressure. So of course, last one, no need to spin this one. IGN versus MAF is going to be the last one for the it's gonna be happening on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, you're gonna get this matches, right? IGN versus MAF. And the first one was Dads and Sons versus Eliminators. Second one was Peak to Plummet versus who was that? Who was that? Peak to Plummet versus Lafu Kabi, up. And the third one was MAF. Sorry, the third one was what was the third one? Oh my god. Yeah, Tartarus versus Zohunt. Yep. And yeah, with that, we are over for tonight, guys. Thank you for coming to the live stream. Wardrum Games loves everyone out there who supports us. And we'll be bringing in more tournaments. So yeah, stay here, stick with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing more tournaments, more exciting tournaments for everyone. And with that, good night, everyone. It's Fredo here. In here, I mean, of course, kudos to the streamer. The streamer's name is Twilight. He has been streaming from the last 3 hours, sitting in this desk. So yeah, W Twilight in the chat, guys. Chalo, guys. Good night, everyone. We'll be bringing these matches on Tuesday. So yeah, stay safe and good night.
Hello players, are you from Northeast? If yes, we have a very exciting news for you.
Wardroom Games is hosting the North East Underdog Tournament, where the top invited teams are going to be playing against the biggest underdogs. And the best part,
guys, is the tournament format. Why? Because it's starting in a separate bracket and you get to fight with only the underdogs all the way to the finals.
by participating in this tournament, you have the chance to win a share of the prize pool, which is 60,000 Indian rupees. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and register ASAP because the slots are filling up really fast and you're gonna run out of slot if you don't register ASAP.
For registration, you can check the link in the description
of the Instagram bio of Wardroom Games. So do follow them and yeah, see you in the tournament and I will be casting too.
Dear doomed king, the time has come to cast away that frail mortal shell. Join me in eternity.